It's gone.
Blue Jays television with the call. Toronto wins at Milwaukee last night 9-7. This one is on the pen. Milwaukee giving up 1 run in the 8th, then 3 in the 9th, and 3 more in the 10th. The Brewers have now lost 6 straight. They'll try to snap that tonight. Game 2 against the Jays starts at 6:40. It'll be Chad Patrick pitching against Dylan Cease. One more piece of bad news. Christian Yelich out for the next 4 to 6 weeks with an adductor strain suffered in the series finale against the Nationals on Sunday. To the NBA play-in tournament last night, the Hornets eliminate the Heat 127-126. Also was the Trailblazers over the Suns 114-110. Phoenix not eliminated. They'll take on the winner of tonight's Warriors-Clippers game in Los Angeles. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Diller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We're going to tackle what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit down, guys, and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
We are on the air, which is a victory in itself as we dig out from day 2 of severe storm damage in the good land and the area around the Megaplex, the Milwaukee area. The entire state been buckled by some bad weather. But, baby, we're here. Welcome into the Huddle. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you from headquarters. Oh, baby. You insomniacs, early risers, people getting a taste of what it's like to think about our life. Keeping an eye on the weather. At least it wasn't the tornado sirens went off at 7 instead of 2 a.m.
Yeah. You fast forward it about 7 hours makes it a little bit better. Let's be honest, it was like primetime viewing. Mark Baden, Drew Burgoyne, Tom Blocks. I mean, it was just everybody in the Milwaukee area. The meteorologists were having themselves like a Tuesday night war in the old wrestling days, being able to showcase every different graphic they possibly had.
It was all hands on deck.
Just buckling the seatbelts and getting ready to go. And at least it was, you're right, in a regular kind of primetime-ish slot where their schedules hopefully weren't too messed up. But, it was really great. I was flipping around watching Mark, who was on his feet for, it must have been 3 hours. I mean, just getting through all the cams, the weather cams, was battling a little bit with the computer that wouldn't zoom in on the right reflectivity, and it wasn't
having technical issues.
Then one of the weather cams was starting to flood. It was on 43 somewhere, and he was like, "DOT, I hope you're listening. You got to shut this one down right
shut
now.
This road down."
People sending in quote unquote tornado pictures or spout pictures. No. That's a scud cloud. All right, I know what a scud cloud. When
low
I see
lying
it.
scud cloud.
Yeah, so I just love the way he did it.
All right,
it reinforces the importance of our local meteorologists.
Sirens went off again. Armen, did you venture down to the basement again?
Well, I did for a second, but I didn't do it to like escape.
I didn't. I was just checking on the water heater. I was just
Okay, I'll say this: I did what you do when you take a flight. All right, you go through security. You walk in there to make sure your gate exists, right?
Make sure that number is a part of it.
Make sure D14 is still there, hanging around like, all right, you know what? It's there. If I need it, when I need it, then I'm going to go back up and venture to my accoutrements, my food, my drink, whatever I need to do. And that's what you do in the airport, right? I mean, once you check in, go through security, you make sure you're at the gate. But you're not going to sit, you know what? I don't need to sit here for an hour and a half waiting with bated breath for Group 1 to be called. You know what? I'll be fine. I know how to get there quickly. If
I'll sit a foot away from it. Yeah. That makes sense. I do like that you say that that's what you do.
No, that's what you do because I do. That's what you do over there.
Sometimes, you don't want to be one of the, I grew up watching, what was that show on A&E Airline where some guy got too drunk in the bar and missed his flight and then they had to go tell him, hey, your flight's gone.
That is what I would worry about, Drew, is Armen getting too drunk before the flight, not being able to make it.
That's not.
Yeah, no, I don't know that one was high on the
but felt confident we could get downstairs in a hurry if need be.
I got a text from my daughter. And she's like, she had taken her kitties down to the basement, and she's like, oh, I'm like, that's very responsible. She's like, are you? I'm laying on the couch.
I'm looking at it outside. I'm watching.
I'm watching. I had the weather on for a while, and then the Brewers are starting, and I did see, but I was watching Baden at the same time. I think Armen was like those low clouds, the scud clouds, and then he for some reason something at Master Control screwed up, and they went to like an Entertainment Tonight commercial in the middle of his feed. Like it was like,
it's not easy running those
we're in
boards.
breaking news and there's something fired, and we know what that's like, a break fires and like what happened, how do we
some macro fires, right?
Some macro fired or
that
something.
board.
And, it wasn't that they didn't override. And then my daughter, I'm like, oh, that's really responsible of you. I'm proud of you. Like me, not so much.
I'm okay right now.
I'm hard down on the couch. It's like it's a little bit like the fire alarm at the hotel at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If
example.
I don't smell or see smoke or even see like a fire truck, I just figure some drunk Jack Waffle pulled an alarm or something.
Yeah,
and
didn't put any water in the Easy Mac.
I'm not getting dressed and ready to get out.
Yeah. Also felt like if you hear the alarm or you hear the siren, I should say, and okay, a warning does exist or for this county, but it's issued for counties or parts of counties. So if you are like in the southern part of the county and you're paying attention and that you're really not a threat, you're like, okay, so I know even though we got the siren, I'm not a threat. Whereas on the northern part of Milwaukee County or Waukesha, Washington, they had a lot bigger issues. They were right in the thick of it. They were kind of under the gun in that sense. So you just have to know a little bit more than just the sirens off. It's like, okay, well, where's the warning? What county? What part of it? Are you watching the radar? Are you watching our friends, Mark Baden and everybody else? So that's part of it too. But they got hammered on the northern part of the county last night.
They did, and some of the same spots that we floated through, Billy, on our memorable trek back from Lambeau.
Those memories,
they're flooded up pretty good.
Something's wrong with the drainage around I-43. They got to do something around there. It's not great.
Yeah, and to see that definitely gave some flashbacks. It is pretty remarkable when they go into all the different graphics. Now, granted, I mean, it is 2026. I did think we were going to have flying machines at this point. I was watching the Jetsons, but we don't have that. But we got radars that legit can show you the difference if it's wind or debris.
Yeah.
Like that was impressive last night to see all the different changes and microcosms of the graphics and what they were doing on the green screen there last night. It was pretty impressive. I also was watching Fox 6 guys at one point when, the storm was going right to their studio.
Yeah.
Sirens are going off. My man Tom is having the news director come in. Should we have everybody going into the basement? Yes, everybody go into the basement. We need to practice what we preach. So they were live funneling everybody into the basement, firing up their backup studio. It was
pretty wild.
I saw a still photo of that, and our boy Tim Van Voren didn't look happy to be stuck in the hallway.
Yeah, Timmy didn't seem like he was excited.
People are sitting down with their laptops, and Tim just standing there chilling, going, "When can I go back to work? Come on, I've been doing this a long time."
Like, guys, it's the third inning. All right, I'm trying to see if they're going to break this losing streak.
And at the risk of being that guy, that's all opportunities for content. You get.
We'll
take a POV live at Tim Van Voren's phone. But hey, Mark was giving Brewers score updates as well.
Oh yeah.
So hey, you got to appreciate that a little bit. And it does remind you. Speaking of baseball, it does remind you the glory that is the roof this time of year.
Oh my goodness, I'm wondering, and I was not at the ballpark last night. And I have not talked to Hunter Baumgart, who's got a report for us from the ballpark. We'll be spinning through that later. I'm wondering what it was like in there and if people were even aware, if you're oblivious, because I've been in there in the past when you could kind of, if the panels are open, you could see the lightning and stuff, and you can kind of sometimes hear it or almost feel it, but you're blissfully unaware.
It'll get real sticky in there. Now, Armen was talking about people's body odor that rolls through American Family Field yesterday.
It was a memorable discussion yesterday.
Yes.
But it definitely does, Drew. You can feel the air change a little bit when you're in there. I wasn't, and I was thinking the exact same thing. We were also wondering, and my wife was immediately wondering. So I know that service level is pretty impressive because we were all down there for the clubhouse sale. I don't think it can hold 21,000, right? Like, I don't even know where the safest part would be. We jokingly said and thought that it ended up probably being on the field. Like, so I was very skeptical as to what exactly they would have to do in case of the storm rolling right there.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was in line and then kind of veered up or a little bit south. But, instead, the tornado just came out of the Brewers bullpen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Maybe a rainout would be, not be the worst thing the way the Brewers are going
rain.
right
That's
now.
when they used to
The
shake
losing
hats.
streak extends. Brewers are 8-8. And you know what? We'll break with tradition today. A lot of times on the show, we get our shooting shirts on and we start whatever feature we're doing at 6 o'clock in the 6 o'clock hour. We might as well fire up the hot take hump day machine.
I
right
like that
now.
deal. I like that.
877-794-1973. Fire it up, Armen. Let's go. Because, there's so much to unpack. Brewers scuffling mightily. And it's the area of the team that we didn't worry about, right? Going in, like everybody was like, wow, the rotation thin. Oh, they lost Freddie. I don't know. Is Miz ready to be the ace? Oh, what's Woodruff's status? Do they have enough pitching up front? And then it was like, oh, what are they going to do at third base? How are they going to ride out the Churio and Vaughn injuries? And now it's the bullpen that's imploding, which has been the backbone of this team for many years. The one thing that you could always depend on. We talked about it countless times in recent years about how the Brewers, the reason they're able to come back in games is because the bullpen holds teams down. They hold the fort and they keep the score where it is and give you chances to chip away. The woodpecker thing. They wouldn't have woodpeckers without the bullpen holding up the tree.
Yep. Something's got to be the foundation.
And now it's off the rails, and teams derive their confidence from the back of the bullpen, and there's no confidence at all right now with Trevor Megill, who can't get a swing and a miss, who can't get guys out. He's not as effective. He needs a timeout. You need to park him. He gets booed last night because of the results, which is compounding with interest because of what happened Friday and then the losing streak in general. Fans are unhappy. Murph is unhappy that people are booing his closer that, was an all-star last year and it was such a big part of things. It's like, hey, man, I know it's not Murph's first rodeo, and I love that he's caping up for a player. But if you paid your money and you want to boo, that's the time.
That's when they're going to hurl. When
it's going to fly.
When not only do you wake up and have to get one to win it in the top or the bottom half of the ninth inning, you got to get two to tie it. And I mean, granted, they still had the opportunity. And lo and behold, 2026, the exact same deal as 2025. Joey Ortiz is just going to show up with the bases loaded. Awesome deal to see as many pitches as there were base runners at the time. But Drew, at least like there's different levels to it with Megill. There have been times where you see a guy clearly just not be able to find the strike zone. He's finding the strike zone. He's just finding way too many barrels as well that are going into it. And it was death by paper cuts on Friday night. And you could see how frustrated he was during the flips of the ball back towards Contreras, or the lack thereof towards Contreras, and more hitting it towards the backstop. Last night, it was a little bit different. Last night was a lot of loud contact and hard contact. Yeah. And it feels like if it's, I think almost like a kicker, if it's a different miss, that concerns me more than you got to type. If you're missing wide right every single time, at least we can adjust that. When it was varying degrees of inability to get out of your own way, that was a moment for Megill last night where after Uribe gave you your own heart palpitations in the eighth, you just knew it wasn't going to be clean in the ninth.
Yeah, just a little frustrating because, you go into that thing knowing, hey, we need to win. We got to get this thing started off on the right foot. We got to get off the Schneid. Boom, Bowers, gets the big dinger, and you're like, all right, we're on our way. And then once again, it all crumbles. And you're kind of like, get me off this boat ride. It's not feeling good this week, and we just can't get off it.
But the Brewers are living up to my mantra of when you're a good team and you suck, your floor is 500. And they're now 8-8 with a 6-game losing streak to get to 8-8.
Yeah, that's why you build up that 8-2.
That's why the 8-2 start is great, and nothing's getting away from them. The Pirates are 10-7 atop the division.
No, and it's April 15th.
So the Brewers are now looking up at St. Louis, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh in the division, and the Cubs are creeping up on them, digging out from their own bad start, right? So it's too early to be looking at standings and stuff. You look at how you're playing, and that last 10 games number is 3-7 for the Brewers. That's not great, but it can be rectified, and you start a new 10-game block today. And it's just the roller coaster. But the bullpen thing is alarming. Last year, when the starting pitching was crumbling, they went and got Quinn Priester. Where's the relief coming from? No pun intended. For this group. Anybody they want to bring up? And I don't want to hear anybody, and we'll probably get some people positing today. I got an idea. We got a lot of starters. Why not just put Miz in the back end of the bullpen, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. Appreciate the idea.
Appreciate the thought.
Think outside the box. But is there anybody in AAA throwing lights out? Is Craig Yoho healthy yet? I don't even know what his status is.
That was the one that I was thinking.
If that name
was going to pop.
Dobler's been following Nashville a lot here in the comments, so we can posit.
Yeah.
We can task him to find out if there is. But
he kind of called Greg Jones.
Yeah, he did. He did. That's a good point. Sometimes there's no answer in that sense. There's no except for your own guys have to perform better. You got to find a way to have things break your way. I'm not sure. It might be a guy down there that can come up, but I doubt there's any sort of, middle relief savior that's going to come up and all of a sudden turn things around, but you never really know.
Our boy Hardicourt, what the Brewers need to do is beat the crap out of somebody 1-0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You need a well-pitched game that, one of those, because offense hasn't really been a problem, Joey Ortiz aside, but they're scoring enough runs to win games.
Now, and there was over the weekend, it felt like in the midst of the frustrations in Boston was where the offense really took the dive. But you're right. After Saturday, they score 6 on Sunday, 7 yesterday. That should be enough to win a game. The other thing is it's equal opportunity, right? As Megill is in the limelight, because he's always going to be in the ninth inning. Well, was going to be in the ninth inning.
Not no more.
The tough part of it is, Drew, like the easy fix was just going to be, Abner Uribe. Boom. That's why we have 2. That's why we have Abner Uribe. Yep. So you just toss him in here, and those innings have been as nauseating as any. Angel Zerpa starts out hot. He's going to end up in the not category here. So the amount of last week feels like we're saying 3 guys, all nails, tough to beat the team when you have to play 6 innings. Now, 1 week later, as it flips here on April 15th, we get a tax day and we're paying some taxes there in that 9th inning. Do you think that it's could be from the workload that all of them had a year ago?
No question.
Is it just like a wear and tear thing for how much the Brewers utilize the bullpen? Because maybe that's, Drew, where the fix, and it's not a quick fix, that's for sure. If indeed you're trying to get a little bit more out of the middle of that relief or more out of your starting core to be able to try to take less workload from these guys. But they're going to pitch in high leverage spots. You're too good of a team to have your back end guys not be necessary on a night in and night out basis. Explains a lot more, though, why when it's a 3-2 game and you're down 1 and there's 2 on and 1 out, you're sitting here saying, give it to Uribe, get out of this thing and give yourself a chance to win. They got a formula, and the amount of volume of pitches they threw last year, I think they're starting to pay the price here a little bit early in the year.
I agree. Those it's miles on the tires, it's dollars on the credit card when you're pitching guys like the Brewers have in the past, and it's because it's worked. The formula's worked.
Yep, you're right.
But we've talked about Vaughn and Churio, and we can talk about Yelich now, right?
Yeah.
Anybody mention Jared Koenig at all?
It's a good one.
He's out and he's been nailed, and they used him a
ton last year.
Last year.
Well, and they used a guy like Nick Mears a lot last year, and he's not around anymore either. So you have to kind of fill in those holes. The one thing I would agree with is, we walked into this season thinking the bullpen should be a strength with good reason. With all the information we had at our disposal, we thought that. But the one thing is, year to year, it does seem like that is the one area that's tenuous that you can never know if you repeat performance.
Another Doug Melvin theory that if he was going to go get a reliever who had been solid and then coming off a bad year, well, he's due to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times guys who had good years and were used a lot, like Koenig pitched 72 games
tend to roll way back
every other damn day. Like, the human body can only take so much, and there's regression, and you'd be solid for a year. Stands to reason that there would be a market correction, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to ride that, but it's going to be a test of their depth, and you didn't expect this. Put it this way: if the Brewers score 6 or 7 runs, you expect them to win games because of that. The way the bullpen's been,
And
we've been conditioned to expect them
Yeah.
to win 6 or 7 games and not have to sweat it out. But here we are.
Yeah, and I still think they will most often, but here we are, and it is still early in the season. And whatever, I always say this, there's a lot that's going to happen that will erase our memory of these times, right? Good for better or for worse. But there will be a lot that still happens. So it's just a matter of trying to plow through it right now, trying to find answers within. And who knows, maybe guys' performance will change. Maybe the bats will pick up the bullpen while they're trying to still figure it out. But we've still got a long season ahead of us. So try not to get too panicked.
We're 10% in.
Yeah, we said the same thing last
year. We're at 10% of the season.
Yeah.
There's 16 games in, like 8-8.
Yeah, the tough one last night too, and guy that didn't anticipate being into the leverage spot, Grant Anderson, has just been so good in every different role that he was in. He was bound to have a moment like that, and it's the tough part about the bullpen because it's obviously so amplified because you only get to pitch 1 to 2 innings a night, and when you do, generally it's in the highest of leverage spots. You also it's difficult when you're in a slide when your best guy gives you a decent amount and you're not able to come out there with the dub because you're looking at Cease and Patrick Corbin at times has been like the worst starter in Major League Baseball, but at times was also on a World Series team for a reason and was one of the big reasons why. So, and seems like he has kind of found himself maybe a little bit with Toronto after his stop in Texas. So the next 2 days are not going to get a whole lot easier for you. And in the midst of it, you get the off day on Monday. Drew, it's hard to be looking at off days when you just got one because you're worried about when you can give your bullpen a rest. The easiest way to get him a rest, kick the crap out of him 1-0, gives him the confidence. 9-0 would allow you to throw a Jake Woodford out there. Oh, hey, maybe Jake Woodford some high leverage innings.
Yeah,
let's see if a Woodford reserve
let's go
is a
Never
part
know,
of it because
right.
it does feel like it's going to be wide open as to who's going to take over that spot.
877-794-1973. We've broken the seal. Hot take hump day.
A lot of good comments already, guys. We'll get to a lot of them.
Let's get to them. Spin through. Share your thoughts with us. NBA playoffs fired up last evening, or did they? If you're a friend of ours on the socials, we can discuss that.
I got into it. Why not?
We're also
why not? I'm into it.
We had maybe the beginning of the end of the Diana Rossini saga, and we will talk about that.
Can't wait for that
as we move forward. It is we're in interesting times. We hope that your basement is dry and that your commute to work is safe this morning. We hope that you're having a great morning with us already, you insomniacs, early risers, and friends of the Huddle. We'll be right back. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, Wednesday edition. Halftime of the week. Halftime of our show comes up in an hour when Dolph will drop on in. Right now, we fired up the Hot Take Hump Day machine, 877-794-1973. Give us your hottest of hot takes. It can be about food, culture.
Ready for those.
Music, movies, television, sports, of course. Grilling. Blackstone tips, always appreciated.
You all right, Billy?
Billy likes to throw some meat on the smoker once in a while as well.
Love to.
Brisket action. When are you going to bring us some brisket, man?
That's a great question. How about next week? Let's do it.
Let's throw one on that smoker, get a good bark on it,
Yeah.
bring that in, and Armen and I will judge it. We'll be barbecue guys.
Let's do that. Beef prices, though, or we're asking Billy just to bring us some meat.
I got to fire up. I got to hang out the shingle again and get some more judging gigs because I had a couple in my past. I've had some good judging gigs. I got to judge a bacon contest.
Oh, that's a winner. Okay.
Judge there. I got to be creative uses of bacon. I got to judge a Manhattan contest where that was run a tab, call a cab.
How many rounds did you last in that?
I was
one?
gonna say that's gonna be tough.
I tasted about 10 different Manhattans that night. It was epic.
And trying to remember them all
and it's
to
funny
differentiate. It's like that's such an unfair.
Oh my God!
Just talking about Woodford, the Brewers reliever. It was sponsored by Woodford.
Woodford Reserve. Come on now,
the bourbon company. And these guys were coming in making their own bitters, and they were.
And to a bunch of guys that by number 3 couldn't differentiate one.
I was trying hard, but yeah, it was some of them. They were all pretty delicious. I'm not a big vermouth guy, but the Manhattan thing was. It was a great night.
Going to be a hard one to turn down. Yeah, I was a judge for a couple of Halloween costume contests, which is never a bad one. Never a bad one to be able to frequent,
especially in the right situation.
Yeah,
I wasn't a judge, but I did a couple times MC the Hooters bikini contests in Greenfield. That was a rough gig, man.
I was going to say that's
all the wings you can eat. I think I did it like 2 or 3. I think I brought KB with me one time. I took I had Dobie with me one time too. And it was like, it's 3 hours on the mic. Got to interview these girls. And they weren't exactly easy interviews. You've seen pageant interviews. This is interview for girls who aren't practicing for the interview portion of the program.
It was good practice for you to interview NIL guys.
It was. Yeah, it was rough. But
listen, that was your chance to make,
I got to be like backstage behind the scenes hanging around beautiful women in bikinis. And it's something that you dream of as a kid. And then I'm there going, how long do I have to be here?
Yeah, wait, how long is this?
Oh, sorry, Drew.
Next year, I got to ask for more than $100 to do this. Because it's like,
and then have Toby be cooking it over the bar.
Yeah, I hooked some.
I
hooked a buddy up to be a judge.
I'll be a judge.
Be a judge. Yeah, you sit there and they shovel all the wings you want. I like those Daytona wings. Bring another 2 dozen over here. I'm crushing those things. And then, but I'm on stage sweating like an ugly stripper.
Yeah,
and it was hard, man. It was not an easy gig.
Every time you grab one of those beautiful breasts or thighs to be able to eat. What?
Oh, you meant the chicken.
You meant the chicken. Oh, yeah. So
got to go right back up on stage. That's a difficult thing. Armen just heard the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a second. What do I have to do? I'll be there. There now.
All right.
No, I never got a chance to do one of those. It's sort of like the first time we got to ride in a parade. You really felt like, hey, I'm in local radio. I'm in a parade now. So once I get to judge a contest, I'll feel the same way. I am a local celebrity.
Armen was so excited about that parade, and I almost made you ride solo, but we did it together. We got through it. The Milwaukee Christmas parade. Oh man,
who are you here as?
Like a 10-year anniversary of that. I think.
That was actually that long ago.
Slaps can be in the back of the parade,
riding downtown.
Dolphin, their station, first car done.
Oh, they were
home before we even got in our car in the convertible to ride in the sleet.
When we used to meet for breakfast at the Ramada, which doesn't exist anymore, much to George Costanza's chagrin. That was a good memory, though. That was a good memory.
All right, hot take. Brewers bullpen implodes. They've lost 6 in a row to fall to 8-8. And folks would think that the walls are closing in on this team. Murph doesn't know what he's doing. This is just unacceptable. Like, okay, well, #baseball in some manner. But hot takes. Megill clearly needs to be parked because he can't. He's lost his mojo. Give him some time. And the thing with the Brewers, and we've said this in the past, their bullpen hasn't struggled often, but when it has, the way the Brewers are constructed into the woodpecker thing, they don't play. And it's to their credit, they don't play that many lopsided games.
Sure.
So they don't have that many low leverage innings.
Mhm.
Like they don't have
a lot of high leverage.
Yeah,
They win on
it's
the
like
margins.
everything is a grind. Like they grinded out basically
That's the way it's
97
been.
victories last year.
That's
There were
the
a
way
couple
it's
where
been.
you got to put your feet up, but
Yeah.
for the most part, every game is an act of Congress to push through the legislation and get 27 outs with the lead. It's not easy, and it's not easy to win in the big leagues. But the Brewers, when the guy goes sideways like this, where do you send him? Do you come up with an injury and send him into Nashville for like some low pressure thing?
Do you drop him to the
what do you
sixth
do?
Kind of
inning?
flexor strain to be able to throw.
Use him as an opener. Like, what do you do?
Change up his role a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
What do you
That's-
do? Like that actually might be the best thing. It's like, all right, Megill, you're gonna take a couple days off, and then you're gonna open the game, and we're gonna pitch an inning. Right? They did it in the playoffs. They've done it.
I was just gonna say, I think I open him on Thursday for Sprout. Right? Like find a way.
One inning.
One inning.
Like, blow gas. It's like the other team's not in a sweat yet.
They're not going to be ready. We are going to face the top of the order, so you're going to get the best talent to have. And you know what? We're going to do the super cool entrance from the bullpen, run out like normal and treat it as such, but then give yourself a little bit of lead time to be able to get back. I think that's the easiest way, because when you see guys have a little bit of a shift in their role, granted it was the playoffs last year, it was now 6 months ago, but it was one of the last times he pitched into a game, and he fired them up to a different level, but also just to give yourself a little bit of confidence. Like Jevin Fox Point said, why does Murph keep putting Megill out there? He's been terrible. Uribe should be the closer now. Well, Uribe's given up runs in 3 of his last 4 games as well. That's why last night I think was like the final straw. And when you watch how it transpired, Drew, you could tell the confidence seems to be shaken. You got to give him a little bit of a run. But I think the opener is the easiest way, because that feels to me like an easier way to sell the excitement and energy and try to have it somewhat even than bringing him in a 7-run game in the 5th inning. That one's going to be a tough one to be able to get amp yourself up to like you would be if you're coming in to be able to close the thing out for the final 3 outs.
Yeah, and then the next question is, are the guys healthy that are struggling out there? And that's another difficult question that trainers and doctors and organizations have to manage, because sometimes it can become so difficult to identify health issues, identify those things. Guys will always tell you they're good, they're feeling good, maybe they're not. Then the pitching lab gets in. So, not sure if there's an injury or not, if he's totally right. That's the question I got a lot of is Megill doesn't seem right. Well, the results aren't right, I'll tell you that. Now, whether or not he just, is not executing right now, guys are hitting good pitches, or maybe he's just, not feeling 100%. Those are all questions. It's the Brewers' job to solve them, and they've done really good in the past, so I trust that they'll still do their best to do it. I also had someone tell me that this proves what happens, that you can't win on smoke and mirrors when you have a cheap owner. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the last 5 years, the Brewers have won 90-plus games 4 times. They won 86 together a year. I don't think just because you win with a strategy, which what the Brewers have done the last 5 years consistently, that means it's smoke and mirrors. So my hot take is, just because you win close games and you've done it being able to be economical and through different methods, it's not smoke and mirrors. It means you've succeeded consistently at the job you've done. I don't think you can do smoke and mirrors for 5 years. So I would reject that hot take that I saw early on.
Love it. Get your hot takes in 877-794-1973. Hot take away from the Brewers. The ascension, I think if you can even call it that, the career arc of LaMelo Ball.
Fascinating one.
Probably
Drew.
has a lot of people fading back into the hedges like Homer Simpson. Like, you rooted against him because of his dad, and silently he's become a very effective NBA player who showed some huevos last night as he propelled his team to victory over Miami.
Well, and he went from the GOAT to the GOAT because after Tyler Hero had a Reggie Miller-esque moment, the Heat are down 5 in overtime. They had choked the thing away because they'd been winning the entire game, and Charlotte looked completely lost for a majority of the night. Charlotte's about to win the thing in overtime. There's 25 seconds to go. Hero hits a crazy catch and shoot 3 in the corner. They steal the ball before half court. Hero dribbles the ball into the corner, and LaMelo Ball, for no reason at all, Drew, comes over and smacks that son of a gun right on the wrist, to the point where Tyler Hero is getting picked up, walking to the free throw line, laughing.
Yep.
And as LaMelo Ball said in the interview after the game with Cassidy Hubbard on Amazon Prime, how did you know that you were ready for the moment? He goes, well, I basically upped the game, so I had to go win it.
I had to go win it.
I had to go win it. I upped up the game, so I had to go win it. And he won that thing right off the dribble, took it clean finish to the cup. That Hornets team was electrifying to watch for the final part of the year. It felt like we would have been cheated if we wouldn't have gotten to see them have at least one more game. But Drew, he's walking off the floor. He's getting interviewed on Amazon Prime. You want to talk about technical difficulties, fellas? 38 seconds to go in overtime last night. Screen goes black.
Oh no!
Yeah, we got the LOL Amazon tweet from you.
I didn't know that.
All of a sudden, Amazon pops up a technical difficulties box in the middle of their best game and most important game they get in the package. We lost them for about 10 to 15 seconds. Hot take.
A moment.
Linear cable having themselves a late comeback maybe in the ninth.
It might, and that seems
maybe Trevor Megill pitching for the streamers, but
it's been a trend, Billy. Yes.
Yeah. Anybody with DirecTV lose reception last night? That happens every time it rains hard.
I was gonna say I got a feeling that might have been the case.
I was a customer of theirs for a while.
But I'm watching. He just had a game winner in the playoffs. Play-in tournament, whatever we want to say.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'm waiting for LeVar to be walking right into the locker room with him, and he was nowhere to be found, letting LaMelo be the star, because he definitely is one.
That's the funny thing about the whole fading into the hedges thing. LeVar's done that more than anybody. And this would be the time you thought he would crow and say, I told you, you know?
So their first, and it was postseason, whether you want to call it playoffs or not. It was postseason, and it was their first one in 10 years. Now, hot take. Anybody out there thinking that maybe Charles Lee would look good on the Bucks bench?
Oh, really good.
Charles Lee now has got it going in Charlotte. They,
man, and he had some onions sitting Knipple for the entire
that's the other
final 5 minutes and in overtime.
Hot take. The postseason is different than the regular season. Con Knipple, very strong case that he's the rookie of the year.
Yeah.
He looked like a G League scrub last night and spent the fourth quarter in overtime on the Pine getting reaction shots of him, cutaways of him not playing.
Yeah, the entire fourth quarter was just showing him on the bench.
I don't think he had many nights like that during the regular season.
No, I don't think he went 0 of 6 much during the regular season.
No, he just looked lost and got benched. Now you can still win Rookie of the Year because it's a regular season award, but that was like one of those, the league will still come at you.
I was just going to say that's a welcome to the NBA, welcome to the NBA playoffs moment, because last night was a re-welcoming to all of us and definitely me. Damn, this game is fun when they all try. I mean, this league is really, really good when everybody's
invested
and everyone's invested. And last night, I mean, it's hard to fake. You can't mimic that kind of desperation when it's a one game for your entire season and you were just playing all 82 as normal. But Tyler Hero did everything he could to be able to break those hearts last night. I thought he was gonna be the ultimate villain, and I was so here for it. I was ready to come in with a Whitnell hat on right after that, maybe paint a 14 on a white t-shirt as it hangs from the rafters there in what is going to be a sweet new gym at Whitnell High School. My man was on one last night. And then all of a sudden the Trailblazers and Drew Holiday officially into the playoffs. That's ironic. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to see when the Phoenix Suns were supposed to be left for dead, or maybe it's hope. Maybe it's a better thing to look at, Drew, as a Bucks fan going into what could be the worst summer that the Bucks have endured in a long time. Portland traded their superstar a couple of years ago. We all know how that transpired. They just got him back, and now we're into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Phoenix sent everybody away. They could not have had a worse situation with the KD Devin Booker trial. They keep Devin Booker. They throw in a bunch of different random guys, bring in Jordan Ott after they couldn't lure Tom Izzo to the NBA.
That's right.
And now they have now they're in the
they got a puncher's chance, puncher's chance. It's plenty of fertile territory. 877-794-1973. We broke the seal on hot takes for Hot Take Hump Day. Hunter Baumgart's recap of the Brewers' rough night is going to be next. And we're going to talk some draft at 6 a.m. Billy, get ready.
Let's go. And I got and
I got some Regs is going to pop on.
Let's go, Regs. And I also got an answer. I got an answer as to who could be filling that void in the ninth inning if we want to have an old friend get called up from AAA.
All right.
What a tease.
We love it. We're off and running. It's the Wednesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Wednesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, YouTube, and the X. We got some our first foray into draft conversation. We talked about it. We've nibbled around the edges, but our buddy Rob Reger, who contributed to the Cheesehead TV draft guide, which is incredible, landed in my inbox last week, and I'm just working through it. Oh, it's comprehensive, it's exhaustive, it's exhilarating.
It's everything you want and more.
Yeah.
And my man
Jinx, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And my man Newt Weston doing some phenomenal work on that Cheesehead TV draft guide. And when you got a name like Newt, you got to get shot.
I thought Newt was a long snapper prospect.
Riggs is a Brian Gutekunst truther. He is not a fan of his work traditionally.
Well, because he's never made a bad pick.
And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it with Riggs. We'll fire it up. We're taking your hot takes at 877-794-1973, hoping for robust conversations on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, as well as on the YouTube stream. We can see those comments. You're not just conversing with us, you're conversing with each other, but we're kind of eavesdropping, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Hunter Baumgart was at the ballpark, boots on the ground for us last evening, and he always does a recap for us, brought to us by Import Minded. Hunter, what happened at the yard?
Guys, Brewers lose their 6th straight game, longest losing streak since 2023. They fall to the Blue Jays. Final score 9-7 in 10 innings. They had a 4-3 lead in the 9th inning, but Trevor Megill blew the save. 3 runs scored by Toronto in that 9th inning. Ended up fighting back in the bottom of the 9th to make it 6-6, but ended up losing in 10 innings. Big question to Brewers manager Pat Murphy after the game. Will Trevor Megill remain in the closer role?
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know for sure. I like to talk to other people about it. I mean, obviously you can't have a guy go out there 6 times and 3 times not do the job. I mean, the way he's throwing the ball now, he doesn't deserve it. So
we'll have to wait and see who gets that 9th inning next time out. But on the starter's side, Jacob Mizorowski went 5 1/3, struck out 5. He didn't feel well for basically his whole start.
I mean, to be blunt, I felt like I was going to throw up the whole game. Didn't feel great. Yeah, when I tried to throw a curveball, I tried to get, tuck and try and get as much out of it as I can. And when I do that, it kind of tighten the abs and it shot it up. And so it didn't feel great. But yeah, that was basically the whole game. So it wasn't fun to pitch in, but, we made it.
So the Brewers go back at it tonight, 6:40 at American Family Field. Chad Patrick on the mound for the Crew as they try to snap the 6-game losing streak. I'll have the baseball pregame show at 5:30 this evening. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter Baumgart. I don't know if it was Spencer Williams was his cameraman or not last night. Somebody coughed in the beginning of his hit. I'm surprised he didn't just say, all right, take 2.
Cannot cough.
He plowed forward like the pro that he is.
And Hunter, phenomenal. Love him. But love Jacob Mizorowski. Yeah, didn't feel great, but
felt like puking.
Felt like I was gonna throw up. But,
well, I forget those things. Guys go through those things.
Yeah.
Hey, these aren't machines out there. Murph just said it.
He did say it. Those aren't machines out
All right,
there.
so
but he's honest. He always
tone
says
of voice a little different though. If you listen to that than just reading the quote, isn't it, on Megill?
Oh, for sure. He did go out. He did say we have the best fans. But that was a Murph version, and he hasn't had to have too many. When you win 97 games, like you don't have that much tumult. But that was the Murph version of counsel saying, "Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation about that."
Yes. Yep.
Which means, yeah, he's not closing anymore.
I like to talk.
We're gonna talk it through, and that. But anybody watching knows you can't send. Our idea of using Megill as an opener Thursday morning is as good as anything.
I think it's perfect and easily said by Murph of just like, he knows he can't do that. The way he's throwing it right now, he clearly doesn't deserve it either. So like that's as blunt as we've heard Murph be in that setting and in that situation. But you're right, Drew. It's kind of, I mean, there's been some times, there have been some stumbles throughout. Obviously, the first 2 months of last year, there were some questions, but it's been pretty smooth sailing for Murph. There hasn't been a whole lot of questions that he's had to answer throughout much of this that have been negative. I did like though I thought it was in poor taste. But I've also done things in poor taste.
Yeah, that was great.
You know what really didn't taste good? Giving up 3 in the 9th. Like, so I like that Murph understands and probably felt the exact same way. It'd been poor taste, but guess what? You're not supposed to spit in certain spots. If something tastes nasty, you're spitting it out. I understand what happened.
And he every time he talks, it's a thought experiment, and it's logical and it's truthful and honest, and that's why I love hearing from Murph, because he'll say it like that.
Thought experiment.
Yeah, it is. He's kind of working through it in his own mind. Like, you know what? I forgive everybody. I understand. I get it. I've done some things in bad taste before, but he's done a lot for us as well. Maybe you shouldn't boo him. which I kind of agree with a little bit, but I also agree the frustration will get to you. That's what makes us human. You know?
And the armchair analysts who are like, why did he send him out there? You know he's struggling. Well, if they had sent someone else out there, Grant Anderson, pitch tonight, why isn't Megill in there? He's your closer. It's like you get to have it both ways. And for Murph to say, he doesn't deserve it, but he can earn it back. He's like, what are we going to do? Who's throwing the ball good out there? Like he's saying what we're saying is like,
answering the question.
What are your other options?
And
right?
The truth is, for this Brewers team, at least you would think, for this Brewers team to do what you want to do, Megill has to be the Megill you thought he'd be, and he has to be good in that role. So it's easy to say, well, we have to just move him out, but then it's like you didn't give up on him forever. Eventually, you want to get him right, get him back to being good. Right?
They were kind of sounded like openly trying to trade him in the offseason. Like I wonder if there was some thought from the front office that this could be around the pike, but that would be anybody's skepticism because of how many innings he logged last year and just how good he was a year ago. How about Peter Strzelecki, old friend, threw an inning of scoreless baseball in the 8th last night, including a strikeout? Or Southpaw Brian Fitzpatrick, closer for the Nashville Sounds, as they beat the Woo Sox, or the Woo Sox, as they had one last chance. But Fitzpatrick shut the door in a 9-4 Sounds win. So shout out to our friend Dobler giving a couple of those names in there. But Peter Strzelecki would be fun. I don't know in the 9th inning, but maybe you see him up here and some more ammunition for that back end.
Outs or outs.
I still think it's probably Uribe, but he hasn't pitched great either. But he's probably the next in line.
He would be the next. Yeah, I think he'd be the next in line. And listen, it can't be worse.
No,
at this point, can't be worse.
Scuffling. 877-794-1990.
The only closer that had a worse night than Uribe last night was Hoffman over on the other side. I mean, in all reality, the only guy that was worse was the Blue Jays guy. You just couldn't finish.
2 aces going, 2 closers peed down their leg. It was not a brilliant night, and Toronto won an ugly game. What are you going to do?
That's a stormy night at the ballpark.
No doubt. When we come back, we're going to talk draft. Rob Reger, our buddy from Cheesehead TV. He's part of the Geek Squad we assembled years ago to follow the draft. He is going to help us out as we get started. It's a week and a day away. Round 1.
Oh, it's coming up soon.
Now on the clock. Draft Talk with Regs comes up next. You're listening to The Huddle on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. It's Spitting on Tax Day. The Brewers bullpen just keeps getting taxed to the point where they may need an audit.
Guerrero lines it deep left field, and it's off the base of the wall. Clement is in to score, and Guerrero is into second base with a double, and the Blue Jays have taken the lead again.
Blue Jays television with the call. Toronto wins 9-7 in game one of the three-game series. Milwaukee gave up 1 run in the 8th, then 3 in the 9th, and 3 more in the 10th. Trevor Megill giving up 3 earned runs in the closer's role that he may have to relinquish. Starting pitcher Jacob Mizorowski fared a little bit better, giving up 2 earned runs in his 5 innings of work. Still, the Brewers have lost 6 in a row. Same 2 teams again tonight. Chad Patrick will pitch against Dylan Cease. And from the trainer's room, Christian Yelich will miss the next 4 to 6 weeks with an adductor strain. The injury suffered in the Brewers series finale against the Washington Nationals on Sunday. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddle.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right, that's all we're going to boil down to. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. You got to get our guys after and make it play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen
This
Sarian.
is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Taking no prisoners on a hot take hump day. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Everywhere on that iHeart app that you should have in your phone. And you can have Facebook, X, and YouTube to see us if you're so inclined. I'm Drew Olson, joined by Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian, and we have a special guest up with us early. Ladies and gentlemen, I refer to early risers, insomniacs, and sociopaths. But what about draft nerds? Ladies and gentlemen, years ago, we enlisted the help of our pal Rob Reger to be on the Geek Squad to follow the draft so I wouldn't have to. And now we all follow the draft, and nobody does it as intently as Rob Reger, and he's back with us. Regs, welcome to the program. Good to have you, my friend.
What is up? Thanks for having me, guys. This is the 10-year anniversary, Drew, that we've been together.
I know.
10 years of draft coverage from me. So very, very happy to be back, and really, really fired up. I was almost a week away. So
we were raving about your work and everybody involved with the Cheesehead TV Draft Guide, which is phenomenal. If you don't have it yet, get it. It's exceptional. And Regs, we're a week and a half away. Billy and I have talked about how our enthusiasm for the draft has dampened a little bit with the Packers not having a first round pick. I know that doesn't affect you, but we look at the draft through the prism of the Packers. So given the team's needs, given where it's at, what should we be focusing on? What should we be thinking about the draft? What are the Packers' goals? What should they accomplish beginning when they make their pick ostensibly Friday?
You know what's funny is that when I start to think about this stuff, it usually happens that when I give up on one thing is when they actually do it. So I'd kind of given up on the Packers picking a wide receiver in round 1 and just thought it wasn't going to happen. And then I was sitting there in the crowd last year and they picked Matthew Golden in round 1. So I'm going to go out there, and I've kind of given up the fact that they think that they need cornerbacks, because the last 3 drafts, the only time that they've addressed it is in the 7th round and a little bit in free agency like St. Jude's this year. So I'm going out on a limb and thinking that they're going to go cornerback in round 2. And let me tell you, this is a great draft to need a cornerback. There's about 15 guys that I really, really like. There's studs, for all across the board at corner. I think it's a really, really deep position. It's hard to rank those guys because it really depends on what you're looking for. But I'd be shocked if the Packers don't pick a cornerback and an edge rusher in rounds 2 and rounds 3 this year.
Well, and it seems like also defensive tackle is a spot where you could make some hay, maybe a little bit more into the middle there. Stay with the corners because Pons is a name that is right circulating near them, Regs. And obviously his size is one thing that generally would take him off the Packers board on the height factor. When you run a 4-3-1, you can't teach that. You can't coach that. It's hard to not see the physicality and the big playmaking jump off of the tape. But you mentioned like corners and all these positions, it's different because you have the testers and then you got guys like Lee Hunter, I'm talking defensive tackles, who just puts good stuff on tape, but he doesn't look exactly the part. How do you blend those together? Because the Packers love the relative athletic score.
They sure do.
For a long time, they were hell-bent on certain standards on size and height and weight, but it feels like they've been a little bit more amendable if the guy can really go athletically at one of their spots.
Man, you brought up two guys that I love. D'Angelo Pons is number one. You know, I feel that he's a dog, man. And I'm a big believer with the way that Jonathan Gannon's going to want to play his defense. He is sort of zone heavy with a lot of the stuff that he does, but there are instances where he's going to want guys right up in people's faces. They signed St. Juice in the offseason. He's more of an outside corner. They could maybe put him in as like a slot corner, a small guy. I know that traditionally they don't really like those smaller corners, but you're right. They've kind of veered away from that a little bit. Lee Hunter is another guy. I personally, this is just my opinion, is I'm not a big fan of taking a defensive tackle, one of those run stuffer type of defensive tackles, too early in the draft, because I always feel that there's guys later on, 4th, 5th round, that you can pick up that can actually fill that role. So I just released last week kind of my take on what's the best way to draft a team. And I always said, unless you have a defensive tackle like an Aaron Donald, a guy or a Jalen Carter, a guy that's actually an impact player that can get into the backfield quickly, you're better off just waiting. 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, and those guys. I like Lee Hunter. I think he's a great player. I just think that it might be a little bit rich for the place that the Packers are drafting. And they did just pick up Javon Hargrave. So, they do need a defensive tackle for sure, but I'm not sure if 2nd round is the best place to do that.
No, and they'll have plenty of options later into 3, 4, and 5. When you've looked at other positions here and looking at your top 10 lists on all the different spots, one of the sneaky positions that I've thought that they've kind of needed in the last couple of weeks is I think they need to add at tight end. And obviously Tucker Kraft is going to be your mainstay, is going to be your number one guy when he comes back in full go. The Luke Musgrave experiment is one that has happened, and I think is potentially going to be going away. But the way that the league has transitioned, Rob, and a lot of 13 personnel from the Rams, and everybody's going to copy whatever Almighty McVay was doing at some particular point, the guys from that tree. Do you anticipate that's a spot? Because it seems like there's a bunch there into the middle rounds.
It's interesting that you say that, because tight end is one of the positions that I feel that you can pick up a solid backup, or like you had mentioned in those 2 tight end sets, there are a couple guys out there. I like Jolly from NC State. I like Max Clare from Ohio State, are 2 guys that really stand out that I think that I have ranked a little bit ahead. And one thing, when I do my rankings, I don't look at anybody else's rankings until mine are done. And then I kind of like, after I release mine, I kind of go and look at how it compares to everybody else. So I've kind of gotten to feel there's certain guys. Sam Roosh out of Stanford is a guy that I feel can be a quality tight end. It's interesting you should bring that up, because I do feel that tight end is in need of the Packers with the way that they play. I think that their ideal, what they wanted originally, is they wanted to have Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave working together. It just hasn't really worked out. They haven't been able to get both of them in the field at the same time. But I think that in a perfect world, they'd have 2 tight ends on the field a lot more often.
We're talking to Rob Reger, our draft go-to guy, part of the Geek Squad we assembled 10 years ago. He is deep into the draft and has been. It's a passion of his. He wrote for the Cheesehead TV draft guide, which you need to pick up because it's fabulous. Regs, people are lauding the Packers for getting picks for Dontavian Wicks, for getting a pick back for Dontavian Wicks. I'm thinking, like, what are they saying in Indy, where they had a 7th round linebacker become a defensive captain, and now he's traded for Colby Wooden, and the ramifications of that trade? Well, the Packers, you might think, oh, they're done with linebacker. Like that's solid because they got Zaire Franklin. Will they look at linebackers? Is this a talented linebacker crew for them to choose from?
I feel that that's another position. You guys are bringing up some great points here. That's another position that can be addressed. My favorite guy there is Harold Perkins out of LSU. He's a little undersized as an inside linebacker, but he's one of those guys. He kind of reminds me of Reger and Cooper, to be quite honest. He just doesn't quite get the hype because he's not as big. He's about 20 pounds lighter than him, but you can always put on weight at the NFL level. The thing, going back to the Wicks thing, that was kind of perplexing to me. I did feel that, now that they lost Romeo Doubs, that could be a position that he could step into and kind of take on an increased role. But I think you guys mentioned it yesterday that he may have also been one of those guys that have been kind of disgruntled with their role with the team. And maybe they're trying to clear the deck of those guys that they said, look, the team chemistry wasn't great last year. So those guys that maybe were complaining, Quay Walker might have been a guy that, not necessarily his role, but maybe just the team in general. It might have been one of those guys. So it kind of seemed to me that they kind of wanted to clear Romeo Doubs, even clear the deck of some of those guys. And now they just want to kind of start fresh, maybe with some new blood in there.
Do you think there's any chance as well that, I know a lot of people worry after a trade like that there was more potential to be tapped from a guy like that? I think, at least for me, that was my first instinct was, well, did we get everything we could? Is there another ceiling he's going to reach? Because he did flash that potential. But then you do remember, like, he was a mid-round guy, right? He was a fifth-round guy, and a lot of times, everyone has that dream of finding that diamond in the rough that becomes this great all-pro player, but it just doesn't happen for that position much in those mid-rounds, right? So do you think there's any chance that he will reach higher, planes that he just didn't get the opportunity, or is that a situation where
planes,
is that the right term? I don't know, but
sure,
or is it just like, hey, got an extra pick for a guy that gave you some service time?
Armen, I have, and it's great to hear from you again, Armen. I think originally when you started, you're with the show.
Oh, yeah.
When I originally started.
Oh yeah, all the way back, man. And it all comes home again. That's the good thing about life.
That's awesome. But I'll give you a stat for you. Okay, so since the year 2020, okay, I'm going to blow your mind with this one. Since the year 2020, there have been 88 receivers drafted between the rounds 3 and 5. Okay, so this is like 6 drafts worth of players between 3 and 5. Okay. How many? I'm gonna ask you real quick, Armen. How many guys do you think have reached 800 yards in one season, which is less than 50 yards with 50 yards per game?
Yeah,
since 2020, 88
one season.
Yeah. In a season.
Okay, I'll say maybe 12 to 15%. So I'll say like maybe 10 guys.
Okay. What do you guys? Anybody? Any other guesses?
No clue.
Yeah, no idea.
Okay, the answer is 5. So there's 88 receivers that have drafted between the rounds 3 and 5 since 2020. 5 have reached 800 yards. The obvious ones are Puka and Amon-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the exceptions to that. And Nico Collins is another guy. So that's 3 out of the 5. The other 2, Gabe Davis and Darnell Mooney. And those were the only 5 guys out of 88. So this whole pipe dream that you're going to draft a guy in like rounds 4, 5, 3, and you're going to get these stud star receivers. In general, if you look at all the best receivers, taking out Puka and Amon-Ra, I'm giving them a pass. They're the exception. Almost all the other best receivers in the league are first and second round players. Almost all of them across the board. When you look at touchdowns, when you look at catches, when you look at all those things. So if you're not going to address that position early, you might as well just take a flyer on a guy in the 6th and 7th round that has high athletic upside that maybe you could develop into that player.
If you could be a special teamer too, right?
Yeah, well, right. They're usually fast. I mean, that's what I like in the 6th and 7th rounds. I like those high raz guys there because
all right. So is this your way of throwing a wet blanket on us having any hopes at all for Savion Williams being a contributor this year?
Well,
because the
might be
numbers
right on
are
that
against
fringe.
him.
Could be right on that fringe.
Well,
Is that it?
we're talking about receiving yard. He runs a gap, so he's fine.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. Don't get me started on him.
That's satire.
Yeah, I said yesterday, like the Wicks trade, I hope somebody placed a call, whether it's a position coach or Goody himself, to Matthew Golden, said, "You're up, man. Like the runway is clear. We're going to actually use you now. You showed a little bit late last year.
You're going to get the ball, belly of the ball.
You're getting the ball." And I saw somebody.
We know the route tree.
I think one of our friends, Elliot in Green Bay, did an interview with Randall Cobb, and they were asking about Matthew Golden. He's like, I went through the same thing. Jordy went through the same. We all, Devontae, we all had that rookie year where we didn't get as much run as we thought, as much burn as we thought we would, and they all worked out. So.
And the position just continues to get played at a higher level, right? Like wide receiver and quarterback just continues to get better. The players continue to get better. They're being trained, Rob, right, as like 6th and 7th graders on the AAU circuit, basically, of college football with the 7-on-7s. One guy in the receiving spot that you have ranked higher than everybody else, and I'm so glad he did because I got to watch the guy, and he was the best player on the field. And he was hurt and actually got carted off at one particular point in time. Denzel Boston from Washington, that dude is a dog. I love watching him play all year long, not only because he played for the Dogs, but he was phenomenal, and he's a true big-bodied guy. I think somebody is going to get a steal late into round 1. I know that's not a Packers player, but I'm looking at a number of these guys, and you have a different grouping a little bit higher than other people have had. He's just a player that I watch all year long in college football, dominate every single game. Feels like that can translate, Rob. It's tough when sometimes we get caught up in the minutia instead of just watching how good a player was all year.
Well, one thing that I look for is I look for like what the game plan dictates. So for example, like Jordan Tyson, Denzel Boston are my top 2 receivers. They're guys that defensive coordinators game planned against every single game, but they're still able to deliver. You brought up Boston. It's a great point. I love him. He's a big body receiver. He gets open. He's a great, high points the ball. He has everything that you want from an NFL standpoint. And I see some of those other guys, and we can go on and on, and probably don't have time today, but like guys like Mekhi Lemon, I'm not a big fan of his. I'm way lower on him than most people are. But I'm looking at like when the defensive coordinator sits down and they're like, okay, so who do we have to stop with this week? Jordan Tyson, Denzel Boston are guys that they say, okay, these are the guys we have to stop no matter what. And then they devise game plans to try to stop them. And when they can't do it, that tells me a lot about that particular player.
I'm fascinated where Skylar Bell ends up too. But before we get out of here, let's talk about the position people actually care about. Let's talk about what people really need to know about. Guards.
Offensive line.
Centers, Armen. Now you have Logan Jones, which again, correctly so, much higher than other people do. I think the guy seems like a 10-year vet. Like he just seems like he's going to be able to walk in and play in the NFL right away. I don't know that he's available in round 3. I've seen a lot of a sliding scale though in a bunch of different mocks. Where do you see that center spot? Because he's ahead on your board. Same with mine over guys, like Hecton Slaughter and even the Jennings Dunker who's getting the Culver's story right now on ESPN.com.
Man, you've done your homework today, Billy. I'm impressed, man.
Billy's a draft geek like you, Riggs.
Wow, man. I'm impressed. But Logan Jones is a 4-year starter at Iowa, and that does not happen very often. We heard for years and years and years that Lucas Van Ness was never a starter at Iowa because they only start upperclassmen. Well, Logan Jones was a 4-year starter at center for Iowa. So, yes, he's undersized for sure. He is going to get pushed around by some of those bigger nose tackles at the point of attack. That will happen. But he's very quick out of his stance. He can get to the second level. He's great on screens. There's so many different skills that he's really, really strong in. Will he have to put on weight? Of course. They can get him on the nutrition plan. They can do whatever they need to do to try to get up to 310, 315 in that range so he can hold up at the point of attack. But the bottom line is center is a position that I feel that the Packers need. Mm-hmm. I know that, they have a center, but, is he really the best that they can do? So a guy like Logan Jones, Jake Slaughter, Sam Hecht, these are guys that I really want us to take an eye on. And the other thing about the center that people don't realize is, for the most part, if you don't make it at center, they can move you over. Centers and guards are pretty interchangeable. So it'd be very difficult for a guy who's a strong center to not be able to move over if push comes to shove. So you look at that position versatility for some of those guys. Put on weight, yes. But at the end of the day, they probably need some interior offensive linemen as well.
Yeah. All right. Riggs, on the way out, I got to ask because, I'm old enough to remember when Ron Wolf would take a quarterback every year, basically. Mm-hmm. Flyer, 5th, 6th round. Like every draft, you knew he was going to take a quarterback. Packers haven't done that in a while. Is this a year, and is there a late round sleeper that you like that could maybe hold a clipboard and for Jordan Love and maybe Desmond Ridder or whoever the backup is? What do you think?
Man, North Dakota State, my man Cole Payton is the guy. I'm telling you right now, he only started for 1 year there, but he is an athlete supreme. He's a guy that if he gets put into a developmental system and he gets into that program, I feel that he has the same potential that like a guy like Malik Willis has, where, it's a guy that you look at their skills and you're like, wow, this guy's really talented. He's raw. Don't be fooled by the North Dakota State. He's an elite athlete. I believe his RAS score is like in the 9.5. I don't have it offhand, but I think it's like 9.5 plus. He ran like a 4.5 40. He's a lefty, which is a little bit odd, But he's a guy that when I looked at his tape and I watched, because I write for the Cheesehead TV Draft Guide, I do the quarterbacks as my position. So I watched every snap that he played. And that dude, anytime it's third down, anytime it's fourth down, I call him the gotta have it plays. Whenever it's a gotta have it play, he delivered time and time again. He made the right decision. He either ran it himself or he passed it. They did have Bryce Lance, which is a nice addition at the receiver position there. But he was able to basically make the right decision, right time, right read, and make it happen. So if they got a guy like Cole Payton as their backup quarterback, I feel it would be very, very effective for the Packers.
All right, guys, put it in your memory banks. Cole Payton, you heard
I'm liking it.
But he's everyone's favorite. People are loving him, but let's be honest. He's going to Denver.
Oh, there you go.
Cole Payton's going to play for Sean Payton. He's going to Taysom Hill 2.0.
North Dakota, Denver.
By the way, starting in 1992, Ron Wolf drafted Ty Detmer. Then the next year, Mark Brunell. Then I got Jay Barker, 5th rounder. Kyle Wackholtz.
That's an awesome name.
I think I remember him.
Ronnie Makeda, Matt Hasselbeck, and Aaron Brooks. That was his run of guys.
I'm still fascinated who's going to get Drew Aller. You couldn't have had a worse close to your college career, Riggs, but you want to talk about all the talent in the world. Yeah. He's got all of the physical traits, but Lord knows he likes throwing the ball to the other team too.
I'm not a huge Aller fan. I'll be honest with you. He's a physical freak, but I mean that's about it. I mean, you have to have it between the ears to play quarterback in the NFL.
I love it. We've broken the seal, Riggs. Thanks for joining us. You've wet our whistles a little bit. The draft is a week and a day away, although for the Packers it's a week and 2 days away. More likely than not that they will not trade up into the first round. But Riggs, we appreciate your input, man. Have a great day.
Awesome, you guys. Thanks.
All right, Rob Reger getting up early with us, our draft geek. Oh my goodness, Billy's fired up. You know, Billy, you're not even closeted when it comes to draft stuff. You prepare for the draft when you watch college football also every Saturday.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't put out mock drafts. I don't put up top 100 lists. I just get excited when I see the guys that I either won money or lost money on all Saturdays be the point of conversations. And man, Cole Payton is a fascinating name. There's going to be a lot. And he mentioned Bryce Lance, brother of Trey Lance, also North Dakota State guy. Yeah. He's going to go a lot earlier than people anticipate. So we're going to have a lot of fun coming up next week. Thursday night, 7 to 10. Friday night, 6 to 11. Saturday, just for kicks and just for the sickos in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round, 11 to 4. Drew, we're going to have it locked and loaded on the draft coverage coming up.
It'll be awesome. We've reached halftime of both the week and the program. Scott Dolphin will be in next, and we'll be talking to him about one of the big stories in sports. People love Salacious.
That's my favorite.
Diana Rossini's retirement. Her resignation letter came in. We'll talk to Dolph. He's next. It's The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling through a Wednesday in the good land. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Halftime has arrived. Our buddy Scott Dolphin is here. Dolphin, the number one question for you is, how's the basement at the Manor? Everything good? Everything ship shape?
It's good. I'm near the airport, south side of Milwaukee, and we kind of got skirted last night.
Yeah.
You know, everything was north at 94 for the most part. Later storms came through the south side. We got rain like everybody else in thunder and lightning, but we didn't get anything like they got in that stretch between like Watertown, Beaver Dam over to Menominee Falls. And they just got pounded nonstop. Sussex had tornadoes. And so we got really lucky where I live. Basement's okay as of right now.
And it's supposed to rain again this afternoon. We're saturated. We've had enough, Mother Nature.
I know.
What's happened?
Apparently, then we're going to get a break. It's supposed to be dry Thursday and Friday. Let's hope anyway.
Yeah, let's see, because it feels like we're riding in the Santa Maria here, okay? Dodging squalls every 5 minutes. Is that the right term when Columbus? Right, the Santa Maria.
Yeah, the Penta, the Nina,
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria, Matt Vasgersian.
Santa
you
Maria.
Armenians stick together. Santa Maria.
Yeah, I should have found that drop.
His home run call.
It's one of the best, obviously. But I've always wondered, you mentioned living by the airport. Do you get the indication of like how bad the weather is by if there's the same amount of flights going up and down, or they've delayed everything or grounded? Or is that just the nerd in me that thinks about stuff?
No,
like that?
So the first house we bought in Milwaukee was where right around the Lake Parkway at Howard Avenue.
Sure.
And we were in the flight path. Man, you could see it was on their tray table as they came over my house. That's how low they'd come in. Now, west of the airport, we don't get air traffic over our house.
I see. Okay. It's more north and south.
Yeah. Other than that, I know it's as the wind blows, they have to take off in the direction of the wind. But no, we're pretty lucky. I don't really hear the planes much.
I've never lived really close to the airport. I lived in Bayview, but that's not really close.
No, but you would see them coming over.
See them come over once in a while.
Yeah,
but I did sit next to Huddle for like 10 years. And he was like, in his nonstop commentary and stuff. One time somebody asked me, how do you manage that? How do you handle that? I'm like, it's like living by the airport. You don't even notice the planes.
It's gonna roll by.
It just was like
living by a train track. It happens every 7 minutes.
It's true.
With it.
So speaking of Bayview, when you came in, did you see the "Welcome to Cleveland" sign that the dude painted?
Yeah, that's well known by now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
On his roof, "Welcome to Cleveland." You still see it, I assume.
Great. Right. One of the best original trolls.
So, Dolph, it is Hot Take Hump Day. If you have a hot take, 877-794-1973. But one of the hottest stories in sports has been this Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel dalliance, if you will. And Diana Rossini submitted her resignation, made it public. She said, that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. Couple of things. She was the highest paid employee at the New York Times, which owns The Athletic. She was making $1 million a year to be an insider. And then, so she's walking away from that. Her contract was up June 30th, so it's like a preemptive strike. They weren't going to renew it probably, and so whatever. She resigned, maintaining her innocence that she did nothing wrong, and still resigning. Which I don't know. You know this story. Where's your BS detector on this? And
I think there's definitely BS there, but I'm disappointed because I really enjoy her work. I've always liked Diana Rossini.
She's great on the radio hits and stuff.
She'll get on air.
Yeah,
she'll land somewhere, but
she will. But I mean,
then people are talking about the double standard of what's Vrabel's penalty? Like nothing, right?
That's true. That's
Probably.
True. And I get why she's denying everything, but I mean.
Because it calls into question all the reporting she's done in her career.
Sedona Ciberus.
And that's the problem, and her initial cover story did not serve her well.
No,
and it probably that made her probably get fired because she said, I was on a girls trip. Well, where are the pictures of the girls? Have you ever seen women to get together and not take a selfie and not take pictures of the dinner they're eating and the salads that they're eating and the hike that they're on in the Red Rocks?
Great point.
Great
point. And also a great point. Why is he not penalized? Will he get a fine for detrimental
family things? But
number one thing is he's just staying away from everything.
Well, he is now.
I think also obviously their respective jobs have different stakes and implications. Hers is based on that integrity, and his is coaching football. It's not the same.
It gets tawdry.
Patriots.
It gets tawdry because of the sex thing and the cheating thing. They're both married with kids and stuff, so it gets tawdry. But I'm old enough to remember when there was that letter that was unearthed with Adam Schefter basically sending a story to the commanders and saying, is this okay, Mr. Editor?
Can I put this in?
You got any changes for me? Yep. Which is as big a breach of ethics as you can have.
Sure.
You don't run a story past a source, but the public, you might ask for comment on a story. Like, I'm going to run this story. Do you have comment? But you don't say, hey, should I make any changes? That's absurd. And nothing happened to him.
Does that tell you just how powerful the NFL is, that you don't want to piss anybody off?
Well, it tells me that our whole culture, and we were talking about this the other day, that our insiders have become personalities and characters, and that they're like, you used to just report the news. You're not the news. You report the news. Like now it's like they're the news. They have brands. All these guys, they pay these shams. Like they pay these insiders, and that's what they do. The insiders are, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, a lot of the stories that get broken by Rappaport or Schefter, they have the same agent as the guys that they're writing about and covering.
It's just who can copy and paste the mass text
exactly.
first.
But if sometimes you're fed stuff by an agent who you share a relationship with, and it's very incestuous. And we've created this soup where they've sold their souls in some ways.
I would say it's incestuous wasn't the word I was coming up with, but you're right. Yeah, that's what do you do? I mean, it's too late to what do they say? The cows are out of the barn now in a situation like that. I don't know how you fix that.
But
especially in the social media age in which we
I don't either.
And the tough thing is, and this is where you can get into a completely different conversation. The NFL doesn't really want them to. Like, I don't think the NFL really wants them to. Now, granted, obviously, with ESPN owning a stake of the NFL, they definitely don't want to. There's a reason why this isn't come up on any of the four-letter network shows. Outside of Diana saying all of these shows, various media have engaged in self-feeding speculation that is simply unmarred from facts. Well, the facts are that you're standing on top of a $2,100 a night bungalow with the head coach of the Patriots.
Maybe she say it was AI. That's not me, man. It's AI. You can do that with AI right now.
AI can interlock fingers. I think AI could hold hands. I don't know AI's got that personal touch.
You look for those little irregularities with AI, right?
And of course everybody's jumping on the story, but to the point, like she's talking about the media, like who? Social media?
Frankly, I think the media's been kind of soft on it.
I was going to say ESPN's done nothing on the story because, and that's the other thing.
And that used to be the media, but now we think of media as social media.
But
that's what it is.
That's true. But ESPN basically is the NFL now. Where does one end and the other? Like they are intertwined to the point where anything that happens, like they buried this story, which again is a story, and it's purely an interest or whatever, but it's a story.
Right.
Oh, it is. They're ignoring it. Like the biggest story in the NFL this week is this Vrabel and Diana Rossini thing,
and that's the one people want to see. Like, people get excited when they see a story.
Well,
like that.
And again, like the guy coached in the Super Bowl 2 months ago, and again that's different. Again, if you were the coach of, no disrespect to Stephen Ross and the guy that just paid $12 million valuation for our $1 billion valuation for part of the stake, not the quarterback of the Dolphins who won 5 games, or the head coach of the Falcons. This is the guy that was just standing in the Super Bowl that everybody was talking about 3 months ago as the greatest thing since sliced bread. This has got to be the goal. You got to go former player with the organization, vested interest. That's where you also can go into the ramifications or the dealings that he's going to have. I mean, more than anything, Robert Kraft might just look at him and say, "You spent $2,100 a night."
Yeah.
Hey,
I can spend $70 for the
$70
the house fee at Orchids of Asia.
Yeah, you kidding me?
There's a pattern here.
Still
with
make the AFC title game
with Patriot coaches. It's like Belichick and his 20-something girlfriend, and the attention that drew at Carolina.
But okay, so you can say what you want about the affair that happened all the time. It happens in politics, happens in business, happens everywhere.
You just see it happen in politics.
And what Vrabel did morally wrong, what she did ethically wrong.
Sure. Yes.
And that is like she broke a rule. Like it's almost like a player, the number one rule is gambling. Like don't gamble. Like, and that's when you see it posted, don't gamble. And she professionally,
right up to the blackjack table.
She broke a rule of getting too close to someone that you cover and that you traffic information with. Can't have that relationship.
And this isn't the first time we've seen that, right?
No.
I mean, but this is probably,
it's highest profile.
It's bad because the fact that they're both married, they both have children. But this has happened before where reporters and coaches have got together.
Samantha Steele married an NFL quarterback. I mean, Samantha Ponder. So I think if you get married, maybe if you get married and the relationship's real, people are okay with it.
Yeah, and she was doing more College Game Day at the time.
That's true.
Right?
She wasn't directly reporting on NFL.
And you've seen like Jenny Dell's another one, like when Will Middlebrooks was a member of the Red Sox. Now they're married and they have kids, and she's continued on and a great sideline reporter doing college football for CBS Sports. Like you can absolutely have careers after this. The tough part is, and Drew, guys, this is where it all stems from. The cover up was so much worse.
I know.
Like, don't insult people's intelligence. Maybe just be honest. hey, you know what? I got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old,
Yes.
and my life's crazy right now, and things got away from us, and I'm sorry. And you know
I
what?
agree,
People,
but it's a
again,
line.
there's an ethical part that will still be subject to. Maybe work again a little bit sooner than going through lying to your bosses, having them start continuing to go through the cover up. Like if you would have just been honest with it, this all might have actually done what she thought it was going to do and went away, and she didn't have to give more oxygen.
We don't see that anymore,
It's
though,
the
do we?
lying. It's the lying. Yeah.
We just don't see that anymore. Whether it's Hollywood, politics, sports, people just don't fess up to that.
But there are still to this day. I mean, yes, like Scott Fletcher's daughter, is it Brooke? I think she works for the Sox as a sideline reporter. She's married to Jake Cronenworth. Like she's married to an MLB player. She's covering MLB games. There is a little more gray area in that. So I think on the other side, it just, you play devil's advocate. Someone like Diana could say, look, this is a double standard. People do this all the time. But I agree to what you're saying, Billy. I think it's the fact that the dishonesty of it is what gets people a lot. Like it's not open.
Well,
it's not something you're open and honest about. Like this is my life situation.
If you cover the city hall beat, you can't sleep with the mayor.
Right,
Yeah, correct.
Right.
So
There's a level. You're saying there's a level of separation.
I'm saying
between,
absolutely.
Yes,
it's
I
a
understand.
tenet. It's a core principle. And female reporters have it tough. It's come a long way since 1978 when they had to sue to get access to the locker rooms. They are almost equal. You don't go to any locker room or any game now and not see women covering the game, right? It's come a long way. But there's always that cloud, and some knuckle dragging portions will say, oh, she's sleeping with guys to get stories. And that's not the case most of the time. But when it is the case, it continues, it perpetuates that
perception is reality.
hurdle that they have to jump over. And it sucks. It sucks for all the hardworking ones who keep it real.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'm glad we talked about this for 11, 12 minutes because I figured you'd bring up Kirk Ferentz having to vacate 4 Iowa wins. Did you see that story yesterday?
You don't hear
talking
often
positive
Iowa
about the
vacate.
Hawks here, Dolph. I was talking about how Logan Jones might just be an easy 10-year vet layup right down the fairway.
He's not going to Green
Draft
Bay,
him in the
Billy.
third round.
Stop it with the Iowa guys.
Come on, we want him. Now the Jennings dunker, they can keep him at Culver's. I think he's a phenomenal player, great head of hair. We'll go with Logan Jones.
You had your chance with Cooper DeJean, and you blew it. So we're not going to give you another one.
Why you got to rip that scab open?
I'm wondering now, like, what is a recruiting violation? Remember when?
It's ridiculous.
Remember when you could give a recruit, you could give him a bagel but not cream cheese?
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous.
And it was to that level. Like you can't buy a kid a hot dog during his visit or buy him a bottle of water when you're walking around campus on a 90-degree day because you couldn't do it.
Marquette's famously had to self-report a hot dog, I believe, once in the 80s. And then Juan Anderson got Brewer tickets and a free T-shirt or something, and they had to suspend him for a game.
In the era where you're paying players and it's basically become professional, like how quaint to have a recruiting violation.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just stupid.
While John Blackwell's on the basically like the celebrity tour of trying to
gift
go
baskets at
the gift
hotels,
basket tour. Like,
Isn't that
it is what it is. And poor Kirk is getting.
Yeah.
It's like the NCAA is trying to wield any bit of power.
Is Cody Hayes still back? Is he back in first place for a little bit now, or what?
No. I think Kirk's still. That's a great point. But they self-reported the violation and they suspended him and former Badger, right, John Budmeyer, who actually did the phone call to Cade McNamara, who was still at Michigan at the time, hours before they were allowed to do it. And so they had to vacate 4 wins in that 2023
4 wins
season.
and 1 loss.
And isn't that
true? Good
how
point.
brutal is that? Because Cade McNamara sucked. Like, I mean, he was terrible for Iowa.
I know. He won a playoff game with Michigan, was a great quarterback at Michigan, but yeah, he was just he had concussions and all kinds of injuries at Iowa. And sadly, he ended up going to East Tennessee State. Left the Big Ten for East Tennessee State.
And then my man Deacon Hill played linebacker as the quarterback.
Listen, hey, God bless Deacon Hill. He had never started a game in his life, and he got a handful of wins that year.
Beat Wisconsin.
Yeah, he did.
That's
You
right.
know what,
That's
though?
right.
Well, beat Wisconsin. I was there front and center.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Line forms to the rear.
Oh,
you
my
just
God.
I think we stumbled on like the biggest coaching hack, though. When you're not doing well, you just vacate losses. And therefore, your record
there
looks
you
a
go.
lot
The record's
better. And you're like,
improved.
wait a minute, I've been doing a great job.
That's a great point.
Just vacate losses.
Doug Gottlieb violated all kinds of rules his first year at Green Bay. We got to vacate all those games.
No,
All the losses.
the NCAA is the parent where the kids
Sports wash Doug Gottlieb's career and improve his record by vacating those losses and then the 2 games they won as well.
Yeah, throw those.
Throw them all out.
Yeah.
The entire season is
They're all
vacated.
clean.
vacated.
Love it.
Hang a banner for that.
You're the parent, and your kid's like 20 in his 20s, and you're still trying to like impose like discipline and ground him, and like that's what the NCAA is now. It's like trying that last vestige of influence.
It's true.
Trying to.
It's true. You wonder if the Big Ten and the SEC are going to form their own
NCAA is like has a dad who's trying to be the disciplinarian, and mom's like, you guys can drink at the party as long as no one drives.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just don't leave the basement, and as long as no one drives, you guys can have.
Or it's like R.A. Armen on move out week, trying to make sure everybody else is being safe and sound inside the dorm.
Safety first.
I'm glad you said safety. It's for their
Safety
own
first.
good.
Armen would have rousted all the kids out of their dorm rooms last night and had them down in the basement for sure.
Come on, guys! It is within 15 miles, and there is a tornado warning. We all need to get into the basement.
Their safety becomes my priority.
You were the by the book guy as an RA, weren't you, Armen?
I just was looking out for the best interest of the kids.
Did you have any basketball players in your dorm?
Wrote the book.
No,
they were all.
They wouldn't stay in our dorm.
No.
My daughter had a lot of basketball players when she was RA at Marquette.
Really?
Yeah.
It must have changed
Humphrey
things.
Hall.
He was changed things. No, they stayed in regular dorms after that for a while. They wanted to do that, and then they went back to Humphrey. This is a whole thing we can get into, but we'll
talk about it.
Hopefully, we won't.
Dolph, thanks for coming by for halftime. We appreciate it. It's halftime of the show, halftime of the week. We're halfway through Hot Take Hump Day. We got Matt Mueller coming up at 7:00. Talk about Milwaukee Film Festival, the Euchre doc premiering. And then we've got John Greenberg, El Jefe, talking puck, the playoff-bound Milwaukee Admirals, maybe getting some reinforcements from Nashville, which was eliminated. We'll talk to El Jefe as well. It's The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen huddled up on a Wednesday. Shout out to Dolph. Shout out to Rob Reger. We got Matt Mueller and John Greenberg warming up in the bullpen for the 7 o'clock hour for you. Still taking your hot takes. We need some more hot takes. Brewers bullpen melts down yesterday. They lose their 6th straight game.
Come on now, guys. Can't have this.
They lost 4 to open last year, 4 in a row to open the season, and 197. So this is a blip.
Mm-hmm. I will say this, though. It is like clockwork. I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff I saw last April. Well, this team is just the one that's finally going to crumble. This team wasn't good. Well, we said the same thing last year. Yeah, but this team's actually not good. Like, okay, all right, I get it. Like, eventually you want to wait for something bad.
Are we getting the critiques on this team doesn't have as much fun? It wasn't last year. That team had no personality. Was the tag?
Although I want to give really quick credit to somebody who said that they had more vigor. The hitting and overall vigor was better. Kevin Doherty. All right, Kevin.
All right,
that's a positive.
Okay, I like that.
So plenty of candidates for who's hot and who's not. Who's not? Trevor Megill and the Brewers bullpen. But Donovan Jorgensen is our go-to for who's hot and who's not. Billy, what do you got?
And they're always hot. I drove by him, saw him over on Greenfield Avenue yesterday. They are potentially be doing some robust business coming up here. How about Gary Sanchez, guys? 26 at-bats, if my math is correct now, on the young season for him. He has now matched his overall home run output for all of 2025.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
In those 27 at-bats with a bomb last night, unable to deliver the big hit late into the game, but he was part of the comeback as well yesterday. Bryce Durang continues his hot run. He was 3 of 6 last night. In the not category, guys, we're going to have to throw our friend Joey Ortiz over 4 last night and closes out with the bases loaded.
Had he won the game yesterday, would the conversation be totally different?
Oh, people would be so excited too, and all the you know what though?
I wanted that so bad.
Let's give some credit to
Trevor Megill would have got the win,
and the crowd at AmFam still going with the Joey chants as he was coming up. Now they're faint because I do believe there were some people that were saying it is Joey Ortiz, and I'm not setting myself up for this nonsense. But Joey Ortiz hitless in his last 5 appearances.
It did feel like there was
hotter than Rengifo.
Or sorry, that was Rengifo. I apologize. Yeah. Rengifo hitless in his last 5 outings, and that is that's an experiment that's really, really difficult to be rolling at.
When Lockridge tied it up with the double, you did get that sort of sense, like, oh yes, here we go again. We're gonna get that magic. It's gonna happen because the Brewers, to their credit, have done it so much to make us believe that you just had that feeling like, all right, we're gonna find a way to come back and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
The other one that I was going to give guys, Brewers number 12 ranked prospect, Luis Lara. He was one of the guys that we were kind of thinking of might be getting the call.
Yeah.
Instead is Greg Jones. Now, Greg Jones is having a phenomenal run down at Nashville, but Lara just had his 4th 3-hit game in the first 14 games of the season. Is that good?
That's really good.
Is that good?
Can't wait till he comes up so I can get my wife a jersey with her name on it.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you're going to have a couple of opportunities. This one is awesome because Luis Lara was tearing it up during spring training, and I was having a ton of fun watching him there. Who's not hot into the game? Now, some people would say that I think Diana Rossini's career would be not hot category because, Drew, as much as I've tried to think about it, and we were just talking about it last segment, there's ways that your career can turn around here. Difficult though if you're thinking you're going to be back in the $1 million range of the insider game to be thinking that's going to be the case. Maybe Diana could get a job at Donovan Jorgensen because they are the state's largest employee-owned HVAC heating and cooling company in the community, serving for over 40 years. They're always hiring. Donovan Jorgensen.
There you go. Check them out. When we come back, Matt Mueller is going to join the party. We'll talk to him about the Milwaukee Film Festival. The Euchre doc is the highlight of the opener tomorrow night, and there's all kinds of good stuff there. And Matt will have some sports takes as well. It's the Wednesday edition of your favorite little morning show. It's the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Jesus.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers had a lead, and then they didn't. They lose to the Blue Jays in Game 1 of their 3-game series at American Family Field, 9-7. This one is on the pen. Milwaukee giving up 1 run in the 8th, then 3 in the 9th, and 3 more in the 10th. Milwaukee has now lost 6 in a row. They'll try to snap that tonight. Game 2 against the Jays starts at 6:40. The Brewers will pitch Chad Patrick against the Blue Jays' Dylan Cease. One more piece of bad news, Christian Yelich out for the next 4 to 6 weeks with an adductor strain. The injury suffered in the series finale against the Nationals on Sunday. Also from the Central last night, the Cubs beat the Phillies 10-4. The Reds double up the Giants 2-1. The Pirates lose to the Nationals 5-4 in Pittsburgh. The Cardinals edge the Guardians 6-5. In the NBA play-in tournament last night, the Hornets eliminate the Heat 127-126, and the Trailblazers beat the Suns in Phoenix 114-110. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Says we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rolling through a Wednesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And if you're not streaming us right now, hurry up and get to your
right now,
your favorite preferred streaming service, because we are joined by our pal. Hit his walk-up song, Armen. Ladies and gentlemen, a man about film on X, a man about film on Substack, a man about town, if you will. Our pal Matt Mueller is with us. Good morning, Matt.
Friendos, I hope you're all dry. Hope you haven't been washed away.
How are things by you? Because my father lives not far from you. I wanted to go visit him today, but I don't know if the roadways are navigable or not.
Can't speak on the roadways, but our house is in one piece. We are soggy, but we are not flooded. So it's all W's right now. Looking forward to 4 more days of this kind of weather, apparently.
Yeah, this is what it felt like when you were discovering lands. You know, when you're one of the great explorers. Like
time to build an
Try
ark.
that joke again.
Yeah, trying. It's a new hour.
Build
All
the
right,
ark
new
and get the
audience.
animals 2 by 2, and we'll walk them in.
You know, when you're on the Santa Maria. In these,
Armen, Santa Maria.
There you go.
I tried.
Right.
I tried.
Try it again. Maybe it'll hit better the third time.
There
Third
we
time's
go.
the charm.
Before we dive into the Milwaukee Film Festival, which is Matt Mueller's Super Bowl and starts this week, Matt, I want to know, were you one of those hearty souls celebrating 414 Day in line outside the Antetokounmpo's store yesterday when it popped up that they were going to have a gathering and, you know, a little meet and greet, and it looked like there was a lengthy line? Were you part of that, Matt?
No, I'm a big lame-o now. Unfortunately, I was not able to participate in that. I do know there were a lot of really cool Milwaukee Day things going on. I believe the Oriental was showing the original song Sung Blue, the documentary version of it. So a lot of really cool things around town. But yeah, unfortunately, I had a job I had to do. Unfortunately,
Rubbing your pregnant wife's feet. I know how it goes.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
That was the job I had.
Job 1, 2, and 3.
100%. Yep. And then go.
There
get
was a
this.
brief moment where my wife clearly wanted to ask me to go to the grocery store and get some Oreos. amidst like the middle of the day after tomorrow outside, just like tidal waves ripping past the Statue of Liberty. And my wife's like, I could really go for some Oreos.
You should have. That's
It better be double stuffed if I'm going out.
I was going to say, do they make double stuffed and dill pickle flavor? Well,
They
Armen
might
buy
at
them
this
all.
point.
Dill
They
pickle
might
packs
make
is coming.
inflatable Oreos at this point. Like,
They make
and
so
what
many. There's
flavors
so
haven't
many.
they made of Oreos?
It's a crazy aisle, but all I can say is you were supposed to have anticipated that, already known she was going to want them, and then have already had them ready. But whatever. Hey, I
There you
mean,
go.
it's things you learn. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right, Matt, Milwaukee Film Festival opening. They're opening with a bang with the Euchre doc. And
Yes.
I have high expectations for this. I don't know how it can be bad. It's about Euchre, and we all love Euchre. You can't make a bad doc about Euchre.
Right. The man is just a guaranteed good clip. And you know, I mean, I believe they've already sold out the 2 opening night screenings, which again, 2 opening night screenings. They originally only had 1, obviously was a big enough hit that they had another one. You might still be able to get tickets online. I know they have a standby section, but yeah, a really great way to start off the festival on the local level. This time of year is always tricky because it's like, do I choose going to a Brewer game or the Milwaukee Film Festival? And for the opening night film, they decided to say, why not both? Which is the best answer to any situation. But I will say, if you can't get into Uke and you still want to see a sports-related documentary or sports-related movie at the Milwaukee Film Festival, they have another one that I'm actually really interested in too, called Kings of Venice, which is about like the Venice Beach paddle tennis world, this like weirdly hyper-competitive world of dudes who are like trying to fight off pickleball, kicking them off the beach. And,
Oh
like,
my
trying
gosh,
to
I
fight
got to
against
see
their-
this.
Yeah, it's a really fun concept for a documentary. And if you're a person like me who is a little bit cynical towards the whole world of pickleball,
Sure.
like kind of perfect that they're the villain of this sports documentary. So that's definitely one to check out if you're looking for something sports related. And Armen, they've got some throwback movies that they're showing
wait.
as well. They're bringing the School of Rock back to the big screen, the classic
What?
Jack Black comedy. They're
That was
bringing
a good one,
Labyrinth back to the big screen, the David Bowie movie, which is, you know, iconic fantasy film. If you've never seen The General, which is an old time Buster Keaton like silent film, like Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise was even born, just doing insane stunts for the name of comedy and entertainment. They're going to be bringing that back to the big screen, plus with a live orchestra playing next to it, which is a really cool thing that they do. So yeah, a bunch of really good stuff at the film festival. It's never a bad lineup. You know, it's always a good time.
Yes.
I have a question, and tell me what you think. And I mean this in the best way, but because don't you think, you know, obviously we think Bob Uecker documentary is going to be great, and it will be. And I have a couple questions about it. My first thing is it more difficult than you think to make a documentary like this on somebody that was already so open and vulnerable vulnerable is a weird word to say, but like he was already so transparent, I should say, every day, in terms of we got the most transparent Bob Uecker content for 3 to 4 hours every day, all the time. So in a lot of ways, not that we know what to expect, but it wasn't like we're going to be hearing from somebody that's been an interesting figure like a Michael Jordan type that doesn't talk anymore. We've already been so ensconced with everything Bob in the best ways. Or is it just because it's Bob we can never, ever get enough and we'll never get enough that this, but I mean, the filmmaking aspect, is it, you think, harder than you think to navigate how we're going to structure the documentary and things like that?
I think it can be. You know, you're not doing it, like you said, you're not doing a documentary on a recluse like J.D. Salinger or something like that. This is a guy who's been out there, whose stories are well documented. I do think you want to think about your approach on it. So I'll be interested to see if this is like a full, like, life, you know, tip to tail documentary telling the entire story. Are they going to focus on a particular time in Uecker's life? I'd be really interested if they focus on the last kind of decade,
right?
This kind of, you know, I don't want to call it golden age of the Brewers, but this, you know, kind of run of sustained success and the kind of like, let's win the World Series for Uke era of the Brewers that we've been in. So I'll be really interested to see their approach. And some of it might be the access too. Like, do they have access to him now at this point so you can get really behind the scenes of, because as much as we did know Uke, obviously day to day, hearing him on the radio, hearing him about Brewer games, there still is the personal side of Uke that maybe we didn't have, the same access to. And maybe that's something the documentary has. I'm very excited to see that. And again, if you miss it at the Milwaukee Film Festival, it does sound like that's going to get a theatrical release, I believe, this summer is the plan and hope for it. So keep your eyes open for that. I'll obviously, let you all know when I hear more on that. But very exciting. It's making its debut in 36 hours or so.
There you go. Matt Mueller joining us, a man about film on the Substack. And Matt, I will disclose my personal biases, but I'm looking forward to and have tickets to attend a screening of a film, another documentary about a Milwaukee icon, Bright, Beautiful World, The Infectious Joy of Pat McCurdy.
Let's go.
Airs
pretty cool.
It's on Saturday and Sunday of the second weekend at the Oriental. And I got to talk to the guys that are doing this, who are longtime Pat fans, Peter and Benny, the directors putting this out. I'm intrigued by this. The man who's played 12,000 shows, another guy who you think because he's been around for your whole life, my whole life. And Pat has been a friend of mine for many years. Our wives are very tight, and I'm very much looking forward to this because it's going to be weird watching this doc. It's going to be weird for me watching the Euchre doc in some ways too, because of the time I spent with him and the stuff I know that maybe hasn't been reported. But this is one that's going to be a little bit different. And to me, it's like, what a great way. And who knows, like, will this movie have an audience somewhere else? Depends on how they do it. It might.
Yeah. I mean, if Song Sung Blue taught Hollywood anything this past Christmas, it's that there is an audience for interesting stories and interesting people well told. So yeah, maybe the Pat McCurdy documentary has some life outside of, the local sphere, but even if not, it's a really cool story. It's a really great kind of local connection. This is the Milwaukee Film Festival. This is not, some random touring thing. And that's what's really cool about the Milwaukee Film Festivals too, is you get to see a lot of these local filmmakers, get a chance to spotlight themselves. They have the Milwaukee Show and the Milwaukee Show 2, which are two short film compilations where it's a lot of local filmmakers getting to show short films on the big screen and get to kind of take a bow. And maybe this is the only time, maybe this is the kind of peak of their filmmaking careers. Maybe this is the start of something more, especially now that Wisconsin has film credits and are moving forward on that department. But the fact that they get to go to this gorgeous theater at the Oriental and take a bow and see their project, play in front of a packed crowd, that's a really exciting, cool, joyful experience that you're not going to find at a screening of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. No offense to the Super Mario Galaxy movie. But it's such a cool, interesting local situation that you're not going to find much more anywhere else.
What's your favorite part? And I'm still trying to rattle myself because when you said School of Rock, I thought you said Schoolhouse Rock. I got really excited.
Well,
we're going to start doing Conjunction Junction. What's your function? I was buying tickets now, man.
Listen, next year Milwaukee Film Festival, I'm just a bill on repeat. I will attend.
Yes. Thank you. Please, we got to know that declaration. Now, what's your favorite part though? Because you just mentioned it, being able to see the producers and the writers and be able to have their culminating moment, as well as you like the entertainment, you love it, but you're also doing it for your job. What's your favorite part of this? Hard to say the work, but being able to highlight the stories, see them in that element, just enjoy. What's your favorite part of this week? These couple of weekends?
I love the Milwaukee Film Festival because, go figure. The movie guy loves the movie festival. But I love the community coming together. I love walking into a screening of a random, Czech journalism movie that I hadn't heard of until 2 weeks before. And I walk into a theater at the Downer, and I am greeted by a pretty full theater of people who are also checking out a random Czechoslovakian journalism drama on a Wednesday when it's the first nice day of spring we've had in the 2026. I love seeing people want to see stories and want to talk to others about these stories, because that's also a part of the film festival. It's a lot of people coming out of a theater and being like, I got to talk to somebody about what I just saw. This is something really interesting, or I got to talk about the ideas and the people getting involved in that stuff. So it's such a really cool communal thing. We don't think of movies as like a social thing in some ways, because you're sitting quietly in most cases in a dark theater for 2 hours. But there is something about the communal power of a movie, of a group of people coming together, to engage with a story at the same time and laugh at the same jokes together. And nothing beats that for me. And I know that sounds so gushy and romantic. So I will also say I love the weird cinema hooligante movies where violent, terrible, ridiculous things happen to people. So if you're thinking to yourself, the film festival, it's pretentiousness. It's so there's a movie about a guy who gets stuck in a toilet and has 70
My
minutes,
kind of guy.
and he has 70 minutes to get out of the toilet, or a drug dealer's going to kill him because he did like a drug deal gone wrong.
Great concept.
Love this guy.
They've got horror movies about a guy who wished for his crush to like him, and the wish comes true in the most horrifying way possible. And so it's not all important documentaries about important topics and emotional indie movies. It's also insane midnight movies that will explode your brain cells. And I'm very much game for every single part of it. It's also kids movies, really good movies for youths too, if you're looking for stuff to take the kids to. So a lot of cool stuff at the film festival every year. This year still included.
Billy, I know you take your boys to a lot of games and stuff. Do you spend time in the theaters? Do you
We're trying to get into the theater now because we have this thing now where we like to say that it's really loud for us, but then laugh when he starts screaming. So I don't want to take him in there if I know that he's going to start screaming. We can't have that moment. Sure. So we got to have some training here before we get into there, I think.
If it makes it feel any better, that was me 33 years ago. Like I had to get taken out of movie theaters because I was like too loud, too scared. Like they took me to the re-release of the Star Wars movies, and the THX sound before Empire Strikes Back, I like started freaking out. I was like, "What is happening?" And my dad was like, "All right, we'll bring you back in when that's all done."
Yeah, we've only seen Frozen 1,900 times. So until they put that one, once they re-release that one in the theater, then we'll probably have to let go and get in there.
Have they already gone through the Encanto phase? Or
the gateway somehow.
We've dabbled in Moana a couple of times. I have put Toy Story on too many times and gotten just blank stares the entire time. Lion King, we love Simba, hate the movie. I hate the start of it. But Frozen is it's just dialed in. And like they hit an absolute home run on that one.
Hold on, you hate Circle of Life from The Lion King?
I hate the beginning of the movie. I get what you're saying. The bad stuff. I hate the bad stuff, Matt.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying you didn't like Circle of Life, and I was like, I'm sorry you don't like one of the greatest openings of a film ever created.
Billy watches The Lion King and cheers for Scar.
Yeah, I'm like, this is awful. What are we doing here? So I fast forward to the beginning of Finding Nemo. We try to get Bambi, start 20 minutes late. Find those.
When I was a kid, I didn't like. I mean, speaking of that, when Mustafa is kicking him off the thing and he blames it
the
on
Frozen's happens in a song, so you just bypass that one.
I hated that one.
They just closed the blinds. I don't know what happened to him.
Hey,
closed the blinds. That's where mom and dad went.
At the risk of sounding naive, I really don't know. Have there ever been like, what's the LeBron to come from this? Has there ever been a movie to come from the Milwaukee Film Festival that's ever been like the biggest movie or like a star to ever come out of this film festival? I don't know. I'm asking.
There's normally little gems every year, and this year they've got some stuff like Obsession, like Hokum, that are going to get theatrical releases in a few weeks. There's one called the closing night movie is Power Ballad, which stars Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas as like rival pop stars. So there are movies that you've heard of that you've seen before. I will say, I think one of the biggest hits was a movie called Som, and if you haven't seen this documentary, it rules. It's about a bunch of dudes trying to become master sommeliers, which is like one of the toughest things in the world. This is like
I heard about this. Yeah.
The wine dude, like it's the wine experts. It's the people who come to your table. And these guys have to take this extremely difficult test. Like only a few of these master sommeliers exist in the world. And it's about these total wine nerds, like kind of like challenging one another and like kind of getting into rivalries. And that turned into such a hit that they've made sequels to that documentary. There are, I believe, 2 sequels and a TV series around Som. So I think that probably has to be the biggest success. Because when was the last time you heard about a documentary making sequels?
Yes, I love it. That's a great point. Yeah, I remember people being captivated by the idea that the wine community could produce like things like bullies and rivalries and intimidation and that type of things.
Well, all these communities, and in fact, the centerpiece movie this year is almost like a literal companion piece to some. It's about competitive cheesemongering and this like American underdog team that wants to be like the first Americans to win this cheesemongering competition. That's like the Everest of cheesemongering.
I love
I'm
it.
not even entirely sure what cheesemongering all entails, but I'm very
Sounds
excited
delicious.
to check that one
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I know. I was going to say, sounds absolutely
Sounds
wonderful.
delicious.
I want to make a tasty beer cheese soup out of it.
All right, Matt, on the way out, we got a question from the peanut gallery here. Jonah in River Falls on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. What did Matt think of The Bride? I watched it, thought it was good, but it has terrible reviews.
Yeah, the Bride is a movie I wish I liked more than I did. It's this is the new Bride of Frankenstein movie that came out about a month ago. It is very loud. It is very in your face. It has got a lot of ideas on its mind, but it's also insanely messy in terms of like the lead actress is possessed by Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein, and like she keeps having these weird stutters and stuff like that. The movie is bazonkers. I want to like it more because it's the kind of thing that I love to see studios take a risk on and be like, hey, we have this director with a vision. Let's see what she can do. And I want to support that kind of stuff. I'm glad I saw the movie. I'm glad it exists. I don't really need to see it ever again, I don't think, but it is the kind of movie, I think that is a 100% future cult classic. Like, that movie is going to have its audience that really loves and appreciates what it's going for and the fences it's swinging for. And I'm glad it sounds like it's got another member of that cult now.
Outstanding. Matt Mueller, A Man About Film, Milwaukee Film Festival starts Thursday. We need you back to tell us about the Euchre doc.
Yes,
I don't have a ticket, and I didn't get any media juice or anything. Nobody slid me a comp or anything.
And I'm assuming everyone will want to buy it.
Why can't I have a screener?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like I said,
we'll talk
hopefully
about
in
it.
theaters this summer too.
It
So
will
if
be.
you are missing out. Yeah.
It'll be like Just a Bit Outside. It's going to get a Marcus run.
Good.
Oh, and I imagine that's going to be the new Song Sung Blue, where it's just going to play in theaters for like 3 months and like to sold out crowds.
I think it very well might. Absolutely. Matt, thanks for joining us. Thanks for getting up early. We appreciate it.
Friendos, thanks for having me. Let's
All
go
right.
Brewers.
Matt Miller, A Man About Film on the Twitter, X, and Substack, all that stuff.
Yeah, and also with us for Milwaukee Admirals hockey as well. And big Milwaukee Admirals hockey weekend. Final regular season home game. Because you got to earn some of them playoff games.
Is that Friday night?
Friday night. And there's going to be a certain game host in there.
Let's go, Billy.
Maybe getting the last one in.
Go get it.
Maybe go get that last home regular season dub of the year and then get ready for those.
Hopefully get some playoff home games. Hopefully.
This portion of the Huddle has been brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, orthowisconsin.com, the website, world-class care right here within driving distance of most of our smart, good-looking listeners. Clinic opening in Johnson Creek. State-of-the-art facilities, world-class care, the best. Don't limp around like an idiot like I did for 2 years on a bad hip. Go get it looked at. Go to the experts. Go to the best. Sports injuries or chronic nagging pains, they're your go-to, orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. El Jefe John Greenberg, president of the Milwaukee Admirals, friend of the program. He joins us next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Oh, baby. Time to catch up with our pal, John Greenberg, president of the playoff-bound Milwaukee Admirals. Greeny, congratulations. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much. It's great to have that little X next to our name.
It is it's a season-long quest, and you
hell of a lot better than an E.
You check that box with the X. Yeah, hell of a lot better than an E, no doubt. And we were talking about it yesterday. Like, I know you would rather the Predators have a long and fruitful run towards the Stanley Cup, but they're being eliminated might help you guys, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't make it. I certainly think that start that they had those first 2 months really derailed what might have been a pretty good opportunity to have a playoff run there. But they're falling short, and there are currently 5 players on that roster there that can come back here. So they play their finale tomorrow night against the Ducks. They need to have enough guys to play, so we're not going to get all those guys back tomorrow for sure. But hopefully for the playoffs, we'll have all 5 of them here.
Well, get on the horn, get Saban going, and get him to fire up the jet and get him back in here as soon as possible afterward. There is a great feeling knowing there's one more home game in the regular season. Then everything else can be earned. But Greeny, it's been kind of a chase here to try to see in this 4 or 5 spot. Does it feel like the fate's kind of sealed, or obviously still a lot more to be determined in the final couple of games here in the last week?
Yeah, certainly more to watch. We'll be watching the scoreboard. You know, that game tonight in Chicago with Manitoba against Chicago. We'll be kind of holding our nose and cheering for the Wolves. But
I'm
just gonna say that's got to be a tough thing to do.
Not as tough as Rockford, but yeah,
it is. But you know, there's actually a scenario when this is the long shot thing here. If we win all 3 of our final 3 games, and both Texas and Manitoba lose their last 2, that we could actually propel ourselves all the way to 3rd place. So while we wouldn't mind that happening, we would love to get out of the 5 spot and just some scoreboard watching. But it is one of the things where we have to take care of our own business. We have to win all 3 games probably to make that happen.
Talking to John Greenberg, president of the Admirals. Now, some people might be inclined to say, well, the home finale Friday night, yeah, it's great and all, Friday night, hockey night in Milwaukee, but we'll save it for the playoffs. No, because there's an awesome T-shirt that you can get by showing up on Friday. We just checked it out. It is a cool design. Go to MilwaukeeAdmirals.com if you want to see it. And if you want it, be one of the first 2,500 people to go through the gates at Panther Arena on Friday night. Greeny, how did this T-shirt come about?
Yeah, so this is our 3rd and final collaboration with the Brewers for this season, and it is a fun concept that our friends at All Goods have helped us put together with Bernie. With Barrelman and with the Admiral on it, and it's really a fun creative look, and only 2,500 of them, sizes medium and extra large. Those are the standard giveaway sizes. So you got to be one of the first 2,500, and that is we like to always make sure people know that's 1 per person, not per ticket. So you can't walk and say, I bought 5 tickets so I can get 5 T-shirts. That's not how it works. So it's 1 per person. We want 2,500 people with that T-shirt.
And Armen always gets mad when people don't put on the shirt. This is one that I think people are going to put on the shirt.
Wear the shirt.
I think people are going to wear the shirt because it's just that sweet. But Greeny, when we talked to you last week before the game in Manitoba after a 4-3 loss, come out and just absolutely spank the Moose 7-zip, and then earn the wins over the weekend, playing into the playoffs. How good does that feel for the boys, knowing that they had a taste of a little bit of mortality, it felt like in the beginning of the month, and have rebounded with 3 really impressive dubs?
Yeah, I think it's been a real testament to the leadership group in the room and to our coaches that they have not given up. I mean, there have been games where it hasn't looked too good for maybe 2 periods, and all of a sudden, we snap to and things come together. And it's been, some of the things that you see in playoff hockey where momentum means a lot. And getting a goal late in a period, or just, getting 1 sometimes means 2, sometimes means 3. In Manitoba, it meant 7. So we were down 4-0 in Manitoba in the middle of the second period the first night we were there, and all of a sudden we kind of snapped to, and we lost 4-3. But we knew that there was something going on there. The next night, we scored 7 and shut them out. So we were behind over the weekend, came back and won games. It's just you got to have that belief that you're capable of doing it, and you need that for sure in the playoffs. You can't, when you give up a goal, all of a sudden be like, "Woe is me." It has to be next shift. We got to get back in this thing.
We talk about this every year, Greeny, but it's time to start that playoff beard.
This is the time. This is the time.
Armen can do it and grow a beard for all of us, because Armen could have a beard by tomorrow.
I started this morning. I can start it every day. But yes, this is the time to grow the beard. I mean, and we're hoping they get long this year.
That would be swell.
Greeny,
I know, Greeny and Harris maybe not the best candidates for beard.
They're in my spot.
Nor am I. Billy and I got no chance.
Patchy as hell.
Yep.
I saw some exciting news as well. Kyle Marino got a 2-year contract extension through the 28 season. So that's pretty cool. Now, Greeny, when Reno re-signs, you smart enough not to give him a per punch kind of bonus, right? I mean, I would think. Right?
Incentives, I think that might be illegal.
And we know, I mean, the brand of hockey Milwaukee plays is beautiful, but we know there are some fans that come out for a little bit of a rumble every now and then, and so you're insured to get those over the next couple of years, right, Greeny?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have Kyle back. I don't think we've got that in there, but
Smart.
One of the things that his leadership really gives the guys a lot of confidence. He's a great resource for young players, not just about how to fight, but also how to act like a professional. And I know the guys in the room are really excited that Kyle's going to be back for the next 2 years, as are a lot of our fans and certainly all of us in the office.
All right, Greeny, we haven't named our current electric superhero of the day yet. And lo and behold, you have a rookie who is the winner of your Man of the Year for contributions to the Milwaukee community, which is amazing. And it's perfect timing because we need a superhero of the day.
Yeah, Oasis Weisblatt was our nominee for the league player Man of the Year, which is all about community service and impact on the community, and he is extremely well deserving of that honor from our team, and we're going to hold out hope that maybe he can win the Yannick Dupre Award, which is for the League Man of the Year. So every team nominates a player, and then the league picks who that winner is going to be. And Oasis has done an amazing job in his first year as a professional, reaching out to the community. Obviously, his whole story, with having deaf parents and what he did for our ASL night, everything that went with that. But being out in the community, being at the sign language school, just being really fun around our fans and things like that, it makes him really deserving.
Well, in Greeny, to piggyback off that, a lot of times people say, well, they're just doing that because they have to. It's far from the truth. A lot of times it's simply off of just the goodwill and the desire by the guy. How important was that? Did he make that known to you guys to be a part of the community?
Oh, day one, for sure. And, obviously he came into training camp in a really, really difficult situation. His brother had just passed away, and it was really hard on the family. And, he was just like, I just want to be part of this community. I want to make sure that, I'm doing everything I can to be, a positive person here. And it was right from day one. And what's also amazing is his brother, Ozzy, who also had played here, was the nominee at the NHL level for the Predators for the same type of an award. Wow. So kudos to Mrs. Weisblatt for how she raised her family, and those boys are doing really special things.
Yeah, an incredible honor to their brother as well, by the way, that they've lived their lives. Callcurrent.com if you want to have a superhero out to your house. Not Oasis Weisblatt. Oasis Weisblatt will not be the superhero. The current electric superhero's pretty dang close.
Yeah, they're going to do their job. He's busy playing hockey and winning some playoff games.
Yeah,
so there you go.
No question. All right, so the t-shirts, first 2,500 through the gates get this cool Brewers Admirals t-shirt.
That is correct, as well as Fan Appreciation Night Part 3. We've been doing this all month long. So when you get to the game on Friday night, find the QR codes that are posted all around the building and register to win a prize. we got a lot of great stuff to give away during the course of the night. And thank you to all of our fans who have been incredible. We are finishing off what will be our largest average attendance since the 2001 season.
Amazing.
So it is, it's 25 years of doing this. Now, yesterday was my 21st anniversary here, and this is going to be our best season. It's our third straight year averaging over 6,000 people a game, which that goes all the way back to 1999 to 2001. So our fans are amazing, and we want to say thank you again on Friday night, and hopefully with a nice long playoff run to follow.
Indeed. That's incredible. And that's pretty awesome. And kudos to you, John, and obviously the entire staff and the entire organization. You guys all work really hard to create a great experience, and it pays off when you see numbers like that. So that's awesome. And Billy, the game hosts included, I think, are part of that. Right? Come on. Right?
Sure. Yeah. Don't sprain your shoulder tapping yourself on the back.
I was talking about you. I was talking about you, Billy.
You guys are part of the experience. We love it. Greeny, best of luck on Friday in these last few, and best of luck in the playoffs. We'll talk to you next week.
See you, Greeny.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Right.
Thank you.
John Greenberg, president of the Milwaukee Admirals, friend of the program at MilwaukeeAdmirals.com. Check him out. That T-shirt is sweet.
Dude, it's so cool. It's got the old school, kind of looking Captain Crunch like Admiral with Barrel Man, a little, livened up, a little darker side, all black T-shirt. So maybe if it's a medium or XL, black T-shirt, maybe it's a little bit more slimming. Maybe you might be able to squeeze into that if generally you're floating on that XL 2XL line. Now, sadly, I'm straddling the 2X 3X line, so I think I'm gonna have to host in the jersey coming up on Friday night, Drew. But that's one of those deals where if you know it's not a white one, you're not going to be exposing too much. You might be able to give yourself a chance.
And Armen can grab the schmedium.
Yeah, that's the thing about those.
And then try to shrink it.
Sometimes they shrink.
Yeah.
So I don't want it too tight and too small. I don't show
Wash
off the
them in
guns.
cold water.
This is a cool one, but it's a cool shirt. So if there's an extra one later on, Billy,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about anything except
you can have mine because, like I said, I don't think that XL is the one that usually gets passed by.
And
I'll wear it though.
Again, we weren't.
It
was for timing purposes, but Oasis Weisblatt is a good current electric superhero.
Yeah. He's an awesome one to have, man. And the honor of what they've done to celebrate their brother after his passing, as Greeny just mentioned there. Big part of it, big part of your daily lives is going to be sitting out on your patio coming up this summer and spring. And one of these days, it's not going to rain.
Yeah.
There is going to be a night where it's not going to rain. I'm actually going to guarantee that.
Regression to the mean is real.
I guarantee there's going to be an evening where it's not going to rain. And I'm almost guarantee you're going to be wanting to hang out on your patio, enjoy some of the beautiful summer night, but you're going to be sitting there saying, it's nice. It's glorious. The stars aren't brightening it up enough. I need a little bit of light out here. Need some accoutrements. Need it to look beautiful. Need it to be the envy of the neighborhood. Callcurrent.com is the place to go to because they're superheroes. Come out, give you an idea, some suggestions, and then execute those suggestions to the perfect degree. And also, right now, month of April, $150 off any outdoor lighting package. So not only is it going to be the best outdoor lighting in the area and in your neighborhood, so everyone's going to want to go and hang out at your house. That might be a good thing or a bad thing. You're going to save $150. So if it does become too good, Drew, and everybody is saying, hey, I need to go hang out at the Sarian household because look at how sweet their patio is with this current electric lighting, you're going to have $150 to be able to put into food and beverage to be able to celebrate and host.
Outstanding.
Callcurrent.com.
All right. We're going to be back to close up shop. The show flies. That's what happens when you start at 5 a.m.
Bonkers how quick this goes.
Show flies by. We'll be back close up shop with our wake and bake story.
My favorite one.
People are just waking and baking right now. Let's go. That'll be next. You're listening to The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. about to jump off
I like
the
that.
treadmill.
Come on now.
Well done.
Final segment of the Wednesday edition of the Huddle. We're over the hump here. Most folks just starting their day. It's a hump day. That's why we,
Lots
celebrate
of
it.
today.
And then we're on the back half of the week. Brewers play the Jays again, game 2 this evening at American Family Field. We are a couple of reminders for you. We have the bidonmilwaukeeauction.com is the website where you can clean up some deals on the bidonmilwaukeeauction.com site today.
Love a deal.
There was
We know you do.
it was Armen, you're well established for loving a deal, but all kinds of good stuff there, and you can avail yourself of that. And I know it says bid on Milwaukee auction. It's a lot of Milwaukee companies, but there's stuff that you can use no matter where you are.
Yeah, for sure.
So feel free to avail yourself and peruse the deals that are available at the bidonmilwaukeeauction.com.
Trying to figure out where I can put
Site.
that pool in my backyard.
Yes,
There you
right.
But
go.
instead,
That's
luckily,
going to be
That's
there today anyway, right?
I was going to say,
Yeah.
luckily, there's already one.
my
So
God.
we're going to see how the splash pad works and then figure out if we go with the above ground pool.
If we're going to be Armen and be the cockeyed optimist here, the Billy Mumphrey, Armen Sarian school, thank God it's not like bug season yet.
Oh my gosh,
'Cause
yes.
if this happened in June or July, like, can you imagine
Yeah.
the mosquitoes?
So maybe
and
we
bugs?
need like one good frost right to
That would be
start
good.
out May.
Yeah,
Just in the middle of the night when it doesn't, just
Yeah,
a big one right
Uh-huh.
there.
kill all the larvae.
And then
stuff,
like
yeah.
48 hours later, back to 72 and so.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. But it's time for our Wake and Bake story brought to us by our pals at happyplacehemp.com. Stop by and get some Drift Seltzer. You can do it online at happyplacehemp.com or at the store in Muskego. Say hi to Rob and Chris and their team. And if you use the code Huddle, you get 25% off plus free shipping. Obviously, if you stop at the store, you don't get free shipping, but you get the deal.
Yeah, you do.
And those guys are probably talking sports. They're big Bucks fans,
Big
Brewers
time.
fans, Packers fans. So avail yourself of the great products, including the Drift Seltzer, but the gummies, pet products, the tinctures, the lotions, muscle creams. Our buddy Adam Pavlak, Chef to the Stars, his mom's a big customer, and they always use the discount code Huddle for 25% off. Billy, what's our Wake and Bake story today?
The Wake and Bake story of the day, guys. I mentioned it a little earlier, and it was one that I honestly thought may have maybe there was somebody in the back and maybe someone in the truck that was firing up some Happy Place hemp last night, because Amazon Prime paid nearly $2.1 billion annually for rights to broadcast NBA games when they bought the package away, or NBC bought the package away from Turner Sports. They bought the smaller package, but it was just nearly $2 billion of an investment to be able to get the games. They had their first playoff game last night, play-in tournament, whatever you want to say. They had their first postseason broadcast. It was phenomenal. Their cameras are great. Their broadcast crew is exceptional. Ian Eagle, Stan Van Gundy,
The best.
Cassidy Hubbard. Like, it's a phenomenal group. Kevin Harlan in the night game. One problem they might have, guys, is the production truck, because they had to put out a message from a spokesperson last night. Amazon Prime Video said tonight's broadcast of the Miami Heat and Charlotte Hornets experienced a temporary disruption due to a hardware failure in our production truck. Teams restored the feed as quickly as possible to ensure fans could watch the conclusion of the game. We're conducting a thorough internal review to determine the cause of the outage. Well, the outage very casually happened in the final 2 minutes of overtime of the Hornets and Heat game, returned with the Hornets from being in, I believe, a 2-point lead to a 5-point lead in a timeout with 28 seconds to go. Now, luckily, they caught the best part. They ended up getting it back just in time for the Tyler Hero 6 points in 18 seconds that nearly won the game. LaMelo Ball's foul that gave Hero the free throws.
Could have been worse. Yeah.
LaMelo's game winner
Yeah.
could have been a lot worse. But I could only imagine the amount of Drift Seltzers that those guys had afterwards, because they had themselves a night there in that production truck. But
Yeah.
I'm sitting there saying, fellas, you spent how much money?
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
You planned for this how long? And we're going to have the technical difficulties flare up in the middle of overtime?
Yeah, the Murphy's Law of broadcasting. And sometimes, listen, tough situation, brutal. We've been there. I've been there. It's hard because sometimes you can only do so much. But
maybe the most
Man.
baked part of the story
you worry about
was
those
while
things.
I'm watching the game, after I'm watching Mark Baden and Tom Walks and everybody do their thing, Drew Burgoyne battling there on CBS 58, the weather wars last night. Drew, all of a sudden I'm like, damn, the power go out? Oh, no, Brewers game's still on here. Nope, not me. But there was that moment where I was like, wait, the power just went out. No, bud, the lights are on, the fans
lights are
blowing,
on.
and the other TV is going, sorry, that might be one too many drift seltzers for you. Holy cow, what's happening right now? What's happening right now?
Holy cow.
Just the production trucks burning down. Maybe they're burning one in there.
It might have been.
Could you imagine? Nah, it's not pausing.
Oh, the stress.
Could
It's
you
not
imagine,
really,
though,
right.
just sitting back there and that place just on fire trying to figure out why on earth
yes, I
they're
can.
off the air in
I
the
can
final
imagine.
2 minutes of overtime? Oh, man.
And sometimes there's nothing you can do. That's the worst thing.
Right. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. Shout out to Regs for joining us talking draft, and Dolph and Matt Mueller and John Greenberg. Thanks to everybody who woke up early with us. Armen's back on vacation tomorrow. You'll be shocked to hear he's off.
Stunned, huh?
2 days only, 2 days.
We're going to skate shorthanded for the last couple days of the week, but we'll make it through.
We're going to have fun, and I'm going to be behind the board, so expect problems tomorrow.
I was going to say, you think
that's a hell of a
Amazon
sell.
Prime had problems? Tune into the Huddle starting at 5 a.m.
It's part of the fun.
We'll be getting after it. We love hanging out with you. See you at 5 a.m.
Peace.